Hi, everybody. It's Gene Simmons, and you're not, and you're listening to the Potter Than Hell podcast with Steve, BC, BB, and Dylan. But you knew that, didn't you?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Potter Than Hell podcast. This is your last stop on the crazy train of hard rock and heavy metal. So sit back, buckle in, and hang on. Here we go.
Hello, Potter Than Hellions. Welcome back to the Potter Than Hell podcast. This is Steve, your host for this evening, and with me this evening is
BB.
And on our keyboards for 2024 is
Dylan.
And from the great state of the national champions of college football,
Big Blue.
Michigan, Go Blue, is Brad Rusthoven. How are you, buddy?
Hey guys, how are you? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Are you a Michigan fan?
No, so from Nebraska originally, so I'm a Nebraska fan and an adopted Michigan State fan. So last night wasn't great in our household. So
okay, I'm actually a Nebraska fan myself. College football. They've been my team since I went out there to visit my relatives out on where SAC headquarters is out in Nebraska.
It's in Omaha.
In Omaha, yeah. We went out there, so I was a Nebraska fan ever since then. But I peripherally root for Michigan. Carson roots for them too, and I've always liked their helmets. So, and I don't like Washington State.
That's what it's all about, isn't it?
So yeah, Dylan was always the one to go for the look. But I'm glad they won. So it was cool to see them win. It was like the first in like 26 years or something like that they won. So congratulations, Michigan Wolverines and
Wolverines.
Sorry, Brad. Yeah, go Wolverines. Patrick Swayze will be happy.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, it's a blue Don though, not a red Don.
That's true. That's true. And BC will be joining us in a little bit. So he's at work, so he's coming up as soon as he gets done at work. And I think he's gonna do a beer run first because trust me, we need it these days for sure. And just found out today. Actually, today is January 9th, 2024. This is the first time that we've recorded this year. I've recorded one episode with Sonny Pooney for our podcast like 2 weeks ago. But we had a couple things banked and stuff. We did the year-end review, and then this week there'll be an episode out that Dylan and I recorded, then this one will be the one after that. But first time that we're at the studio at the 62 this year, BB.
Yeah, this is a nice little break from all the chaos after the holidays, and great to be back with you guys, of course, and thanking Brad for taking some time out of his busy schedule to hang out with us. Can't wait. It's going to be a great episode. I think we're going to have a good year, Righty.
I hope so. I mean, we've not had a bad year. I will say that.
It's just going to be crazy with the way work is and all that other shit. But
times are changing though. We'll
get through it
to be continued. But Dylan, how are you? How's your new year going so far?
It's okay.
Oh, check out the enthusiasm on him.
It's fine.
All right, Brad. How about you? How's things going, my friend?
Yeah, things are good. You're right. I mean, the holidays are busy. I know I've released a bunch of solo episodes because scheduling is so hard over the holidays of trying to get guests on. But I've got guests lined up. I do. I got to reach out to you guys and get you on some episodes here coming up too. But things are good. Things are good at Slamfest.
Awesome. Yeah, you know what? You did your year. Not a typical year in review. We reviewed the shows you went to the year before, and God, I had something. I had a little bone to pick with you, but I can't remember what the hell it was. Hopefully, by the end of the episode, I will. Nothing major, but I was like, "What?"
I'm sure there will be many more bones that pop up.
So I can't remember what the hell it was. I should have written it down because I listened to it the other day. You're my Thursday listen. So. So I hope everyone out there is having a good year so far. Our weather blows up here, sucks ass. We've got 8 inches of snow, 8 inches to a foot, depending on where you're at up here. And then we may have flooding because all that snow is going to be in the river by the morning because we're getting like 2 inches of rain today. So it's crazy up here. And sad news today. First one of the year, James Kotak has passed away, former drummer for Kingdom Come and Scorpions. and probably other bands that I don't know about, but not sure. It didn't say why or whatever. I mean, we all know that he's had problems before with I don't know if it was just alcohol or substance abuse, but dude was only 61,
Man.
so he's only like essentially 5 years older than me.
Man.
And we kind of bust ass about him because his antics at M3 the one year where he talked, I think, as much as the band played, and did a striptease, taking off his shirt, showing his rock and roll tattoo on his back and shit. But
the band itself was not on task either.
No, they weren't. They looked like that they got a day pass from the adult daycare when they played. But hey, if you're still out there doing it, more power to you. So rest in peace, James Kotak. So let's get back to what we're doing here. Last week, Dylan and I had an episode. We put an episode out that Dylan and I recorded last year, and it was just for a time just like we needed it for, because we were planning on doing the year in review, going to be like a 2-week thing like we did the year before, but then we were like, just fuck it, we'll just blow through it. So we did the whole year in review, and then we had the open week. So we put the one that Dylan and I did out. Dylan, refresh me and BB what this was.
Yeah, so it was our album battle that we do, but we did the Hailstorm covers EPs against each other, the Stone Sour covers EPs against each other, and then the Ace Frehley Origins albums against each other. And we had asked BB, BC, and Sonny Pooney to weigh in on one of the sets of things in case we needed tiebreakers. And for the most part, a lot of great covers, a lot of really great interpretations of the songs. You have Ace singing, Space Ace trucking. But
I thought that was cool. I still love that.
It was fun to talk about. I had more of an appreciation for some of the Origin stuff than I had before. So that was at least a positive aspect of it.
So BC did the Stone Sour.
Yeah.
BB did the Ace.
Yes.
He did the Ace, and then
and then Sonny did the Hailstorm. So BB, thank you for doing the lion's share.
Yeah,
of
you did the big chunk
of it.
Oh, no problem.
They were like 2 full albums, and I was surprised at the Ace albums the most. I think that when they first came out, I was like, Ace is singing, but. I thought that they should, like, some of the song choices were horrible. Some of the song choices were absolutely fucking terrible.
30 Days in the Hole, how many times did I hear that?
If someone else doesn't cover that, I'm going off the bridge.
Lola,
Cola. But I think they were done like in a spirit of fun. You know what I mean? Yeah. I kind of had a lot of fun listening to them, making fun of certain things and stuff like that. And and a couple of them had guest singers on them and stuff like that. And the Stone Sour ones were fantastic. The Hailstorms were fantastic. A couple of the there was a couple of songs from like everyone that I really didn't know. Mm-hmm. But it was fun overall. Brad, what's your thoughts on the Ace Origins? We won't get crazy on the other ones, but what do you think about those two?
Yeah, some of the song selections I think are interesting on there, but some of them he needs to get someone else to sing.
Yes.
Some of that stuff. But, I think some of his, getting into some of their influences, and when he's not choosing the hits, I think that's at least cool to hear some of that stuff. Because mostly when you hear covers, it's popular songs, that people are generally doing. So sometimes he dives deep, which I think is good. But overall, I don't know why, and this must be part of his contract, that he's got to put these things out or have so many albums, because I think he's already talked about there's going to be a third one.
Yes.
He's got a regular studio album coming out in a couple months.
Yeah, I think it comes out in February or March.
And there's an Origins 3 coming too. So.
And I have it pre-ordered.
He's going to do Love Gun. He's going to do
Love Gun, Detroit City, Deuce. I just hope on his new album that like Ryan or Jeremy sing something. You know what I mean? I hope it's not just Ace. I would absolutely even take Joey Casada singing on this album at any time. You know what I mean? Because he's sang at the Kiss things, and he's got a good voice too.
He does.
You know what I mean?
He does.
I wish,
but I'm afraid Ace is going to have lead vocals.
I think so too. I think so too. So we'll see the once again the wonders of auto tune coming up on 10,000 volts. Hopefully the album's not like 10,000 jolts, but it's going to be interesting. You know what? And I'm just glad he's doing something. You know what I mean? God love the guy. He's trying. He's out there. He's putting shit out. He does. It's a point that he busts on Kiss for, but whether you like the stuff or hate it, he still has done more stuff, new stuff than Kiss. I mean, people say, well, it's quantity, not quality, but I mean, there's some stinkers on them albums, but there's also some good stuff on there. But he doesn't play them either live. So
no,
you know what I mean? Like back in the day when Poison played Montage Mountain, they played every goddamn summer, and then they put out Hollyweird and they toured for it, and they didn't do one goddamn song from it.
No,
I think they did. No, actually they did. I Hate Every Bone in Your Body Except for Mine or something like that. But it was a CeCe DeVille solo project, something 7. Oh, what the hell's the name of it?
Oh shoot, yeah, I can't think.
Brad, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, I do.
I can't think of it.
Can't think of his.
I'll have to have Dylan look it up. CeCe DeVille solo project. Dylan, thank you, buddy. See that I'm putting to work right away. Look at that. Boom, first video. All right. So yeah. So rest in peace, James Kotak. We had a good time doing that episode. That came out last week. Like I said, we recorded it last year, but and actually, Dylan and I are going to be recording one.
Samantha 7?
Samantha 7. I knew it was 7.
There you go.
Yeah, Samantha 7. Yeah. I Hate Every Bone in Your Body But Mine is one of the songs.
Not that I could see on the track listing, but maybe.
I want to say that's one of those songs, but like I said, Ace doesn't play those songs. But anyway, we'll move along here. And Brad, is your bank account a little lighter? I know BB's is.
Oof, for sure.
But is yours? Did you pay your $200 to belong to the Vinnie Vincent Euphoria Facebook page?
Oh man, I did not. No.
Well, maybe we can get like a GoFundMe page for Brad, and we can get $200, and we can.
Well, didn't Brad say not yet?
Oh, true. That all right.
Well, here's what's so
He's
funny.
waiting for his tax return.
Keep the trolls out, and there's trolls that'll pay that.
Oh, absolutely,
for sure.
Absolutely.
So that's what's funny about it, is that he's doing it to keep people out, and I think some of those people are still going to get in there. So
absolutely, and there's people that will absolutely pay that.
Yeah, and I just saw a video. They already have like 96 members, so there's already like $20,000 you got for not doing a fucking thing.
Christ.
Oh man.
And that was probably a week ago, so probably now he's probably got over 100.
When P.T. Barnum said his saying, he was talking about Vinnie Vincent fans, for sure. God damn. Anyway, Dylan, what's your thoughts on that? You've heard about that, right?
It's par for the course with anything Kiss related. That money.
Dylan is so exasperated right now. The look of disdain on his face is insane. It's crazy.
Yeah, you know what? If he can get that hustle and he can get that money, good for him.
Yeah.
Oh God! All right. So anyway, what do we listen to? What do we got going? Brad, how about you? What do you listen to these days, my friend?
Yeah. So obviously the life of a podcaster, right? You're always kind of listening to to future topics of episodes. But so what was interesting, and you heard it on my my recap episode, I hadn't done a Kiss episode all year. And then obviously I did the one on Madison Square Garden show, and then I did one on Cobo Hall that I saw in 2009, and I've got another one coming up shortly. And I've been listening actually to the Creatures of the Night box set quite a bit, because I'm gonna dive into that in one of my episodes and kind of review it. But I mean, there's some interesting stuff on there.
Yep.
I think there'll be some good content that comes out of that. But also a DLR era Van Halen episode coming up too. So that's what's been
my favorite.
That's what's been occupying my time.
All right, cool. Dylan, how about you?
So Brad Wilk just recently announced that Rage Against the Machine will not be playing live anymore. So I was listening to the first Rage Against the Machine album, kind of in memoriam of the band. They've had their tensions throughout the decades, but Tom Morello's still going to be doing a lot of stuff. So that's good at least. And Brad Wilk usually gets a couple jobs. I mean, he drummed for Black Sabbath on the 13th album. So, and who knows about Zach and Tim. But
I don't know them other two guys.
Well, Zach De La Roca, the vocalist, and then Tim Comerford, the bassist.
No idea.
But just listen to the debut self-titled Rage Against the Machine.
Hey, have you guys heard Tom Morello's version of Voodoo Child?
Probably.
I probably have. I just don't remember.
They play,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can't think of it.
Yeah, they play it on the Boneyard quite a bit when he does his Revolution Radio or whatever, the takeover thing. It's pretty good. Like, there's no vocals, but he does the guitar and vocals, and apparently he recorded the whole thing on his phone, which is crazy. Like like all the guitar parts and stuff recorded on his phone.
He recently guested on a great song from Måneskin's newest album, Gossip. Very cool. You could definitely tell which parts are. Oh,
absolutely, yeah. I do like the squealy things, and I never honestly have never listened to a Rage Against the Machine album all the way through, but I'm going to, because I know that our buddies at Shout Out Loudcast and Album Review Crew, they did that the Rage Against the Machine one. Is that their first one? The guy burning out?
Yep.
Is that the
first
first
one?
one?
Monk burning.
And I really liked what I heard about it. And actually, I went to a record store in Allentown, Pennsylvania that literally closed like 2 weeks after I was there, which I didn't know. And they had a vintage stereo shop adjacent to the store. You could like literally walk from one into the other through the building. And I was there looking at records. That's the day that I got the Damn Yankees album for BB.
Yes.
And this guy was trying out the stereo and the speakers, and they put on this song. I'm like, holy fuck, this rocks. I'd never heard it before. But as soon as the guy started singing and I could hear the squealy guitar, I knew it was Rage Against the Machine. And it was fucking excellent. I was like, holy shit. And then like 3/4 of the way through, like he's like, okay, that's good. I'm like, no, it's not good. I want to hear the rest of this fucking song. But so I definitely want to give those guys a chance, because I mean that shit's like just like fucking heavy as shit. You know what I mean? So I really got to check those guys out. So anyway, BB, what do you got going?
Yeah, since we kind of did this back to the 90s, 98 year, going through this list, it really brought back a lot of memories, and I wanted to actually watch the second greatest MTV Unplugged recording out there, the Alice in Chains one.
That is great.
I absolutely, it just gives me chills every time I watch the beginning. How they start. Jerry Cantrell is just sitting there with an acoustic guitar, and there's probably like 20 candles, and like every maybe 3 seconds a band member will come out. They play for a minute. Then Lane comes out and just sits down and instantly starts singing, and it's.
Yep.
I don't know. I just get goosebumps, and
it's fantastic.
It's crazy. Like, I don't know what it is. Just the
friends don't let friends get friends haircuts.
Well, the opening song from that might show up.
Maybe
we might be talking about that.
Yeah. And then after I watched it, of course, I actually have that on vinyl as well, and I put that on while just doing some shit around the house. But great performance.
I would say that's the third best.
Third? Okay.
Queensryche was the second one.
No, Nirvana is the second one.
Well, and it's funny, too, because as we go through this episode, you'll see how BB has trolled me. So he's even fucking trolling me on the fucking What Are You Listening To?
Yes!
He wasn't the only one trolling.
So, no, there's no...
So what's the best Unplugged, BB?
Kiss Unplugged.
Kiss, of course, right?
So
that maybe we'll have to have a MTV Unplugged top 5. We'll have to rank them.
Go.
I'll get in on that.
All right, we'll have to throw that around there. Throw that in the schedule.
That'd be fun.
And actually, I will throw in an album that, besides Kiss, blows away all those Unplugged albums.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
They do an acoustic cover of Take On Me. It completely changes the song.
Really?
And it makes it like just it's a whole new song. And it's insane.
You know what we'll do? We'll make it, as long as it was an MTV Unplugged, we could do some more trolling.
Yeah. I'll put in Damnesia from Alkaline Trio.
You guys are fucking killing me already. Killing me. All right, so for me, and I wish that I had discovered this album. I'm not sure when I think it came out like in November or December, and but I don't think it didn't hit my radar until literally the other day. It's a live album from Children of Bodom. It's called A Chapter Called Children of Bodom. The final show in Helsinki Ice Hall, 2019. So it's from 2019. I put this on. I was just in a very angry mood yesterday, actually. I put it on the other day and I listened to it, and I was in a very angry mood yesterday. So I'm like, I need something that's going to make me want to throw some shit around and get in the pit and all that shit. And this was hit the fucking spot so perfect. I was like, holy shit, great. If you if you're a fan of like thrash, you want to get into a pit. If you're any kind of fan of Children of Bodom, I know vocally BB, you're probably not a huge fan of these guys, but
I did see them live.
You did see them live.
Yeah.
That's true. So BB's having flashbacks for fearing for his life while listening to that. But absolutely fucking fantastic live album. Alex Florio, he passed away a couple years ago from I want to say from probably alcohol abuse. I think that's what it ended up being. Weird talking about James Kotak as well. So I checked that out, and album Night Ranger, Big Life. I spun that out. Actually, it's still on my turntable right now. Check that out, and I have a Kiss bootleg from 1976, and it's from there's two albums in there. So like the first album, and then the first side of the second album is from Cobo Hall in 76. And then the side 4 has like Let Me Know on there and a couple other songs and stuff. So, but absolutely sounds fantastic. I was like, holy shit, I got it. There's a Facebook group that has Kiss bootlegs out there. I'm sure if you search, you can find it. I don't know if they want their name, out, but if you do see it, because I've gotten several bootlegs off of them. And actually, BB, I'll show you the other one I have too. It's from I remember on the Kissology, the Houston show, like they played 2 nights there. The album that I have is from the other night that's not on the Kissology. So it's like this, either the second or first night, whatever night was on the Kissology, it's the other night. One. Gotcha. But really, really good bootlegs, great to listen to, and it was cool to hear the 100,000 Years solo. And it's pretty damn close to like Kiss Alive, but you can tell it's not Kiss Alive. You can tell
is that
it's
the
actual...
Cobo Hall one that was always around the VHS bootleg? Is that the year?
Probably.
It was the black and white one, and I think we got it like the first.
No, that was the Winterland one.
Oh, that's the Winterland.
That was the Winterland one. Okay. Yeah, but there is one from that era there, because I want to say I think it's just right at the end of the Kiss Alive costumes, like right before they got with the Destroyer costume.
Gotcha.
So that's what we got going. Creature of the Night box set and David Lee Roth solo stuff, I would guess you would say, for Brad, and Rage Against the Machine for Dylan, Alice in Chains Unplugged for BB, Children of Bodom live, Night Ranger, Big Life, and Kiss 76 bootleg for me. So I like throwing these episodes out there every now and then. So I figured let's do, because I think. If you're a, in quotations, hair metal fan or classic metal fan, usually the years are concentrated between like 1980, like say when you have like Back in Blackout and Heaven and Hell and all those cranking albums like Ace of Spades, and then Kiss Unmasked, that kind of doesn't fit in there, and it usually goes till like 87, 88, 89, you know what I mean? You get the White Snakes and the Cruise and everything like that. So I decided that I think a huge disservice is done. This is when the changeover was started between, the alternative or grunge stuff that was coming along. But there's a ton of great hard rock and metal stuff out, mostly according to the lists that we got going here tonight. So from 1990 to 1998, we're going to do like an album track number 2 from those years, for that chunk of years, from 1990 to 1998. So we did our first scientific picking of the names this year out of BB's Ops Corps hat. And we picked Dylan first. So what we did was we each picked 8 songs. So you got to be, like I said, you got to be between the year 1990 and 98. It's got to be track number 2 from one of these albums. And go ahead, Dylan.
Yeah, so I was born in this range of dates, and I did not pick any songs from the year I was born, funnily enough. 91, 94, 95, and 96
right? 94?
were the years that I did not pick. Yeah, 94.
Okay.
So, 90, 92, 93, 97, and 98 I have picked. So, you're going to see a lot of repeat years, but hopefully the songs are good enough to overlook that. The first song that I picked, of course, I had to throw out an homage to having Brad on the podcast, seeing as I guested on Slamfest talking about AC/DC. So I picked Fire Your Guns from Razor's Edge. Fantastic song, 1990. Really great follow-up to the lead-off track on that album, which is, of course, what is it, Dad? Off Razor's Edge?
What?
The
Fire
lead-off
Your Guns.
track.
Thunderstruck.
Yeah, Thunderstruck. Thank you. Jeez.
Sorry.
An iconic opener. And how do you match an iconic opener? You go into Fire Your Guns. Another heavy, fast-paced song to go off on. And the interesting thing that I find about this song is that during the verses, there's not a lot of cymbals. It's very kind of just like regular drum driven. And you don't often see that. Usually you'll have the drummer riding the hi-hat going forward through the verses, but in this one it's very just like the toms and the snare, which is really, really cool, and I think it kind of accentuates both the vocals and the guitars in a really great way.
And that's your drummer.
Yep.
Your AC/DC drummer.
Yep. Chris Slade. I love his drumming. He has such an energy to it that I really appreciate, so have to give it up to him. My next song from Ugly Kid Joe's America's Least Wanted from 1992. I went the goddamn devil. Of course, you have Rob Halford showing up on this song. The song has a couple of different paces that it goes through. There's kind of a cool pickup in the middle, and it just kind of paints you a picture. The great thing about the Ugly Kid Joe songs are that they always kind of tell a story, and they put you in a scene, and this is a song that's no different. So had to throw one out there to them. The next song that I picked was from Godsmack's debut album from 1998, self-titled. I picked Whatever. I'm doing the best I am. Go away. Just a great iconic song, a classic from them. I love the guitar, the dun 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 dun. Very, very simple, but very effective. The next song, of course, I had to throw Foo Fighters in there off their second album, The Color and the Shape from 1997, Monkey Wrench. We really lucked out here because the opening song on the album is Doll, which is a very kind of slow, weird opener. And then it goes right into Monkey Wrench, and Monkey Wrench is a punch in the face. And I kind of consider this the true spirit opener for the album. And I love the kick. The time signature is so weird in the verses. I love how it's like a 4 count that the drum comes in on instead of like the 1 2 3. It's like 1 2 3 4. And there's like kind of a pregnant pause on the. So it's a little different, and then of course the breathless part, bridge like that Dave just goes through and then ends with the scream is iconic. He plays the drums on this and is fantastic. So it's a classic song for Foo Fighters. Then we go into Rob Zombie's Hellbilly Deluxe from 1998. Again, this is another song, Super Beast, that the first song is more of an intro, and then the second song is the real opener. And this is a great kind of thesis statement for what Rob Zombie is going to be doing solo after broke away from White Zombie. Has the kind of spooky vibes to it, and very much a product of the late 90s. Very kind of industrial mixing in this that I think is fantastic. Then we go, my sixth pick is from Anthrax, but we are not talking about Joey Belladonna Anthrax. No, we are talking about John Bush Anthrax from Sound of White Noise in 1993. Probably the biggest song that came out from John Bush's Anthrax, Only. The thing I love about Only is the background vocals for the chorus of the Ole. Like, I love Scott Ian's background vocals in any Anthrax song, and that's such a great thing. And it's such a very different song for Anthrax. It doesn't feel like the Joey Belladonna version of Anthrax. Even the solo part is very more kind of hard rock than it is thrash metal. And I think that's a fun change for them to kind of break away from the thrash. Though I personally love thrash Anthrax, this is a very fun kind of change of pace for them.
It's the only song that John Bush song that they've done with Joey Belladonna.
That is true. That is true. They have not done Random Acts of Senseless Violence, which would be very cool. Off of
there's a ton of great
Stop
John Bush
442,
stuff
I think.
Anthrax.
Then we go into Aerosmith, 9 Lives. This was the first album that I remember kind of consuming from Aerosmith from 1997. Falling in Love is Hard on the Knees. Of course, you have that big band horn section in here that's been present ever since Permanent Vacation, but I think it really adds to the song. I love Steven Tyler's vocal intonation on this song. He has kind of a little English on the curve, the cue ball, as I like to say sometimes, where he kind of has like a little fun with it. But great solo. I think it's a fun song from an album that is often overlooked. Obviously, I don't think it's anything compared to like Rocks or the early albums, but it's a fantastic, solid album from them. Like towards the later part of their career when they start getting more. I don't want to miss a thing, chasing part of their career. Then the last song that I picked, going from Falling in Love to getting punched in the face from this album cover, from Pantera's Vulgar Display of Power from 1992, A New Level. Just pure anger in this song. Pantera's a really great song to just stomp somebody to zombie killing songs, as I like to call them. And this is one that puts you through the paces. It's very fast-paced, breakneck speed at times, and then slows it down for the chorus. Phil Anselmo's screams during the chorus are great. Just a classic song from Pantera, from an album that I personally like, I think, a little better than their debut album. I think I like Vulgar Display of Power a little more, but that was.
Hey, listen, the Pantera purists would not call Cowboys from Hell.
Yeah, that's not their
debut album.
Their debut album for the sound that they're known for.
The rebirth of
Pantera. There we go. The rebirth of Pantera. Yeah, so that's my 8 songs that I picked for this track 2 playlist. So, what'd you think, Deb?
Cool. Okay. This was a good. This era, this 1990 to 98 was a good bang zone for me. I mean, as the 80s were, but this, I think that, like I said before, I think that this was a much ignored era of our type of music. Tons of great shit came out then, and I have these in a different order than you do because of the fact that I had Fire Your Guns picked. And you sent it, so I just said I'll let you. And I picked something different, so I'll start with that. I like that. Great, quick, fast rocker that you don't get from AC/DC these days, pretty much. I love the fire when she's going down, fire. But and this is the perfect Malcolm Young and Cliff Williams walking up to the microphones and fire, like doing their thing that they've done forever. And I love, and like, you mentioned Chris Slade is the drummer on this one. I love that AC/DC live in Donington. That video was just absolutely fucking awesome. I love it. Solo rips on it. Great song. Ugly Kid Joe. They're a fun band. I've always had a soft spot for these guys. Never got to see them live. I don't know. They would be a perfect band to be on Monsters of Rock cruise. I know they're a little, out a little later than, half the bands that are on there, but I think they would be a fantastic addition on there, or like a surprise thing. Cool hearing Halford on there. Just a fun song. The kick up for the bridge, and then the solo just friggin' shreds on there. And like at the end, you get the me. You can hear Halford at the end. I fucking love that. And then Godsmack, whatever. I remember when this came out and seeing these guys for the first time. I saw them at Montage Mountain. They actually played September 13th, 2001. So they played like 2 days after the attacks. And it was a fantastic show. They played with Breaking Ben and I forget who else they played with. There were like 3 bands on the bill. And I just remember them doing this song, and Sully didn't have the guitar for this one, and he just kind of like rocked and skipped around the stage and shit. And it was great. The drum, listen to the drums on this song. Shannon Larkin fucking absolutely kills it on the drums on this song, on the whole album. But I love the tempo for the chorus. You better get like that riff during the chorus is just freaking killer. Foo Fighters' Monkey Wrench. I like this one, the fast Foo Fighters song. No solo in it, but I forgive them because you get that that fast cadence, yelling and screaming and shit like that. BB, I would crush that on fucking Rock Band. You know it.
And it's funny, I have it written down. We used to play this on Guitar Hero. This was a Guitar Hero song.
I would kill this one on the vocals though. I would do my Sabotage thing. I wouldn't know the lyrics, but I would sing it. It would be fucking 100%. Rob Zombie's Super Beast. Fun song, and like you said, like Dylan said, the like industrialness of it, but it was still, you get that horror thing with Rob Zombie and shit like that. Very cool. And I remember when they played this live, and we saw them up in Binghamton. Dylan, remember? Mm-hmm. And with Rob Zombie and John 5 just prowling the stage. I remember them like very clearly playing that great song. Anthrax Only, fantastic song. And I think we talked about it last year when we saw them play this live. It seemed like Joey Belladonna wasn't as enthused as the band was to sing this song. But killer song. I love the fast picking in this one. And, John Bush. I'll give it a BC already. John Bush. Not the only time we're going to hear from him tonight.
That's the only time.
Aerosmith, Falling in Love is Harder Than These. That 9 Lives album, I'll tell you what, is so good. That is past, I think it's Aerosmith's album past Done with Mirrors. I will take it over Permanent Vacation, over Pump, over Get a Grip any fucking day. I think there's maybe one song on that album that I don't like, and I have a mission to get that on vinyl, BB. I've seen it a couple times, but I was unable to get it for some reason or another. The pre-chorus is great. The solo from Joe Perry's just plinky. And this is like probably a top 10 Aerosmith song for me. I fucking love this song. Pantera, New Level. Headbangers theme music. Can't forget that. This is just a rip your face off song. Jump in the pit and try and love someone, BB. Insane solo.
That's Kid Rock.
I know. Because that's why I said that, because I know you love him so much.
Well, yeah, and you didn't get it right on Jeopardy.
I did not. Killer track. The solo from Dimebag is just insane. And Dave Mustaine would be proud for the amount of spoken word in this song.
There's a lot of spoken word.
Good picks.
Thank you. Brad, what'd you think?
Yeah, great. Only 8 songs, but great variety. You got bands from the 70s, you've got bands from the 90s. You're all over the place, which I love. Doing these episodes and getting a variety. So AC/DC, great 1-2 punch on that album, and I think they did that live, right? They did that live on that tour, I believe.
Think so.
Yeah, great song. Almost has a Let There Be Rock feel to me during the verse, kind of like what you said, Steve. Kind of upbeat. AC/DC, which they weren't necessarily doing as often. Ugly Kid Joe, you know what? I'm not that. I haven't dove into those guys very much, but every song I hear from them that's not one of their hits, I love. So I think I do need to dive into their stuff. This is a heavy song. You've got Halford on it, so it's got to be. So was that Pat at the beginning saying turn off the devil music?
Yeah.
Pat from Saturday Night Live.
I think it is. Yeah, I think it is.
Julie
right?
Sweeney.
Yeah.
So, but great song, and I'm with you, Steve. I haven't seen them, and I know they did that run here. What was that? Just summer. They were kind of all over all over the country, and for the first time in forever. And I did not get a chance to see them. Godsmack, whatever. So yeah, I saw the '99 Ozfest when they were on the second stage. We were in the parking lot, of course, and so I can remember hearing them play this song from the parking lot. We stopped the music and from our car and listened to them. But yeah, great groove, great vibe, great band. Love Godsmack. Foo Fighters, yeah, just all that, everything you were saying, Dylan, about the time signature and all of that is just so cool. And you guys have already mentioned the Dave does not take a breath during that part, breakdown or whatever you want to call it, right before the scream. And then I love the fall in, fall out backing vocals.
Yeah.
I think that sounds like Dave just double tracked.
Yeah, I think so.
Over and over, but awesome song. Rob Zombie, again, every time I think I've seen Zombie, I feel like he's started with this song, which is a great concert opener. Love his cadence during the verse. And you guys talked about industrial. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a Marilyn Manson song, actually, which is not a bad thing. Chorus got some hey yes in there, Steve. I'm sure you like that part. And I mean, it's just perfect for a concert. Anthrax, yeah, love me some Bush era Anthrax. Again, it's almost like it's a different band, which I think is cool. And they were kind of entering in the decade and kind of switched it up and put out a lot of good albums with Bush. But I think they had a video for this.
Yes.
I feel like I remember seeing.
Yep.
Yeah, so I remember seeing the video, and I liked it. I liked it from the first time I heard it. Aerosmith, it was interesting when I saw this on the list, and I actually considered it. I wasn't sure what the rest of the gang here was going to think of this kind of late 90s Aerosmith, but Steve, I'm with you. I love this song. I remember when it came out and hearing it on the radio all the time. I mean, the "You're so bad, you're so bad, you're so bad," part with the horns kind of doing it as well. But I think my favorite part of the song is, I think it's the third verse, but Tyler's delivery is so good, and he says, "But you like the way I hold the microphone," and the delay on his on microphone. I just love that part. But awesome song. And then Pantera, New Level. So hate mail, maybe. I never really got into Pantera. I think the music is great. The vocal, I mean, I don't mind his screams, but I just could never get into his lead vocal. But musically, I'm a fan.
Brad's not angry enough for Pantera.
I'm not angry enough. Yeah.
That's why BC likes him so much.
Great list, Dylan.
Thank you.
And by the way, welcome BC. BC just got here.
Hey!
There he is.
Welcome BC.
Thank God.
Might as well crack a beer and join us here, buddy.
Yeah, crack a beer. Go ahead. We'll leave this thing. Give me that.
I got some nuts.
Yeah, I'll let you settle
BC
in.
just came off a 36-hour shift, so
Sure.
that he needs that beer. You're hearing him crack right now.
BB,
Okay, you can tell me later.
What did you think of my list?
Yeah, this is a nice little collection of, I love, like, almost kind of like what Brad said. You got the older stuff in there, like with the AC/DC and the Aerosmith from the 70s. Then it's great, 20 years later, they're still putting out music. AC/DC, Fire and Guns. Love how it just gets in there super quick. I think it's like a under 3-minute song, or it's at like 3 minutes. Gets in, punches in you in the face, gets it right out. Great song. Ugly Kid Joe, Goddamn Devil. The build of this song I love. And this fucking solo is fucking sick bananas. And it's one of those things you're like, Ugly Kid Joe, like, and I'm like, I had to look and see who the guy's name for playing the guitar was, because he's never thrown in anything. I'm like, man, this is fucking good. And I forgot, like, every once in a while, a song from that album pops in our list or something, and that album is so fucking good. Song number 3, Godsmack, whatever. almost like Brad, I did see these guys in '99, but it was at Woodstock. And this was right before. This was during the day before they burned the shit down. But I love Godsmack from the day this album was released. That whole first album was so fucking good. Song number 4, the Foo Fighters' Monkey Wrench. Like I said, great Guitar Hero song that we played many of times down the house with Dylan and Steve. Super fast paced. Of course, we already talked about it. How about we'll give the drums a kick ass because they're as fast as they're singing. Taylor's keeping up with them on the skins. So I think he's fucking blowing it out of the water in that.
Well,
drums are
Dave
up front.
And
Oh, really?
He plays everything on that,
Oh,
right?
you did
no,
say
so
that.
Dave plays everything on the first album. He just plays
Oh, that's not the first
drums on the second album.
one? Oh, okay.
You did say that.
guitar.
And I'm just...
Oh, this is the one with the gun, right?
Yeah. No, the first one is the one with the gun. This is the one with like the blue
There's
cover
like blue
and
and dots, and they're
Yeah.
like connected with a line.
Okay.
An atom or something.
All right.
All right. Well,
Sorry.
oh, Dave kicks ass on drums. Right, BC?
Sick drums.
Sick banana drumming. Your song number 5, Rob Zombie, Super Beast. Yeah, when these guys came out, industrial, spooky, metal, whatever you want to call it, their song was just so unique. They had that nice little call and response during the chorus, and this is probably one of their standout songs to do live. Just get the crowd going. 6, Anthrax with Only. This was my surprise with the John Bush. As much as I don't give John Bush enough credit for the Anthrax, I really like this one. I think vocally he just kills it, of course. I just prefer him somewhere else that we may talk about him later. But absolutely love Anthrax's song Only. Song number 7, Aerosmith, Falling in Love is so hard on the knees. I love the 90s Aerosmith. They get a lot of shit for being on the radio and stuff, but man, a lot of their stuff is so good, and that horn section is just brings the song to a different level. And your last song number 8, Pantera, A New Level. Dime's playing is so fucking good in this. I love when Dime just starts with that string scratch on his Jackson Dean. Rebel flag thing.
Dean guitar.
The Dean guitar that he does.
The Dean X1.
This is just so good. The galloping drum beat is great. Phil screaming dark vocals are awesome. Yeah, like I said, definitely a great character list here for sure.
Thank you.
All right.
BC.
Yeah, BC, you might as well go. You're here.
Dylan, all right. Yeah, I'm going to kick Joe. Come on, you cannot go wrong with him. I love this song. Goddamn devil. You picked Godsmack. I'm surprised. Whatever.
Somebody just got that on vinyl, right?
What? Godsmack? Yeah, BC got it from me.
Nice.
But, whatever. I mean, that whole album's great. I
kid
love
Joe, though.
Godsmack from day one because
that's even out.
I saw them at Tinks.
Oh, yeah?
They're,
probably. Yeah.
They're just labeled hard rock from Boston.
Wow.
Godsmack. And I read about them. I said, I gotta check these guys. This is before I think the album was out even.
Yeah.
They came out. I was like,
wow.
I'm hooked. AC/DC, Fire Guns. Love, like I said, AC/DC. This is a straightforward AC/DC. You can't go wrong with that. Foo Fighters, Monkey Wrench. Like I said, unfortunately, I'm still in the hits guy for the Foo Fighters, but this is one of the hits.
This is a hit.
You gotta love it. Rob Zombie, Super Beast. Love that song. Like the groove, it just, how can you not get into it? Another great pick, Anthrax Only. John Bush, come on, people. It doesn't get enough love. Aerosmith, Falling in Love is hard on the knees. That's why I need double knee replacement.
Because BC's just in love.
My life's been rough to me.
The hips are next.
The hips are next. But I mean, for new Aerosmith, I like this song.
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of lost me after Pump. No, what's after Pump?
Pump is an album.
No, what's one after? Get a Grip. Thank you.
Get a Grip.
Get a Grip was my last truly enjoyable for them. Not saying that they're not good albums, but this song definitely grabs me.
There was like an electronic game that we used to have. It was like, Get a Grip. Da-da-da-da-da. Like, I just remember that sound bite. It was almost like a bop it, I think.
Like turn, yeah.
Yeah. But like that's just stuck in my head whenever I
Was it
see
that like
Get a
stick
Grip.
thing?
I think it was. And you had to hit it and turn it.
You had
I
to do a certain sequence or whatever?
I think maybe that's what it said right before like the bop it started.
It was like the Simon stick.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
All right.
So
Okay.
And number 8, Pantera. How can you not love Pantera? Unless you're Brad, you're happy.
Ask
Brad's
Brad.
really happy.
He'll tell you exactly how.
But if you deal with the people that we deal with, Pantera is definitely in your mix of songs, and A New Level is just that album's great.
The easy listening of
Pantera.
Pantera.
I remember this album came out, and I was like, put it on, I'm like, oh yeah, because the first one was heavy, but not like.
But if you think about it, that would have been a perfect album title for that album.
A New Level.
A New Level.
New Level, yeah.
Yeah, because they
Because I mean, they did. They took what they were doing to a new level.
they turned it up to 11.
To 11. They turned it up to fucking 12.
But no, very very good listen.
All right, so I think we got
Yeah,
everybody,
we all
right?
did it.
We
Yep.
got everybody. All right, so in our scientific pick out of BB's, what does that
Ops
say again?
Corps. This is-
Ops
yeah.
Corps hat.
Protecting the ground troops
Protecting the ground
overseas.
troops.
Over,
Awesome. BB's doing his patriotic duty. We're doing our patriotic duty by picking the numbers out of his fucking hat. And Brad came up next. Brad, what do you... I'm going to say...
This is actually hilarious
Brad,
the
what
way
do you
that
got
this
for us?
worked out with Dylan. This is like by design. Dylan's list ending with Pantera, leading into my to my list, which is kind of all over the place. But let me preface this. When Steve reached out to me on this, again, I think I knew the theme that it was going to be track 2s. I don't know if you knew the years yet, Steve. I can't remember if you did, but when you sent 90 to 98 to me, I was like, oh. Let's fucking go. I'm going to do some different shit here because I went to college. I moved away, went to college from 91 to 95. So not only was that a life-changing, event for me to do that, but the musical landscape was changing obviously drastically. And it just had a hold on me, and I was exposed to all kinds of different stuff than what I grew up with during the 80s. So initially I was thinking, you know what, I'm not going to pick anything from, kind of from the hair bands or hard rock stuff or any of that. And then when I got into it, I'm like, oh my God, there's some of my favorite songs from some of these bands, so I've got to include those. But ultimately, I wanted to choose some different stuff just with this opportunity going from 90 to 98. Kind of like what you said, Steve, at the beginning of the whole thing, that you kind of wanted to do something a little bit different era. But so starting off, Warrant, Hole in My Wall. So that's from 92's Dog Eat Dog, which again, their first 2 albums were huge commercial hits. And I guess I would probably say this might be my favorite Warrant album. And with regards to the production, it seems like it's heavier than those other albums. But this song specifically, just love the riff, love the talk box in there, and the chorus. There's a lot going on in the chorus there with the "Ooh, I groove through the hole in my wall, love the view through the hole in my wall," and again that talk box adds a lot to it. But just always thought this was a great song, great groove. And then Winger, Down Incognito. So from 93's Pull, again, their first 2 albums in kind of the hair band era, and then they kind of ventured off into some different sounds, a little bit heavier on this album than the first 2. But I always loved this song, and I have seen them do it live, and just the intro riff, the verse, kind of just Kip and that acoustic guitar there until getting into the chorus, which is melodic, and just love that, because I'm all out of charm, all out of money, hanging down incognito, waiting for the sun to shine. And then obviously the song kicks in, and the backing vocals are great on this song as well. But love it. And then I wanted to get into some different stuff here. So Screaming Trees, Nearly Lost You from 92's Sweet Oblivion, also on the single soundtrack, which is actually where I heard it first. And I'd say that it's probably, second best song on that single soundtrack to me, but maybe this might be a top 10 song of the 90s for me. And this is my wife. I met my wife at school, and she had this soundtrack as well. And I think we both loved this song. So just love the chorus, love the vocal, just a jam to me. And then taking even a more of a left turn here. So Pat Benatar, Everybody Lay Down from '93's Gravity's Rainbow. So this thing, I think I sent you guys the clip on text, but I think I saw her perform this on the Arsenio Hall show. And if you guys remember seeing any of the bands play on there, I mean, Kiss's performance on there is amazing. So whatever they did with their live performances and the sound was amazing. But this Pat Benatar song, again, it doesn't sound like anything from the 80s. It sounds like stuff from the 90s, but it just the build just builds and builds and builds, not only her vocal kind of during that chorus, but the music as well. And I was hooked when I saw it on Arsenio, and actually that whole album is pretty good, but always loved that song. And then I guess I could call this a U-turn now as I move on to my, what is this, fifth pick? So Genesis, Congo from '97's Calling All Stations. So I remember, well, this is with the new singer. So this was the debut of lead singer Ray Wilson, which again, I think he only did the one album with them, but opens up with kind of a Caribbean drum beat, African style tribe chanting, but then kind of kicks into this synth guitar, which is just kind of a menacing vibe almost to it. I think it's just really dark, and thinking about what the song, what the lyrics are about. Obviously, it's about a relationship, and send me as far away as possible from you, and that's where the Congo part comes in. But I just the chorus is great. Send me to the Congo, I'm free to leave, and some OOs in there, Steve. I'm curious to think what you guys think of this song, but always liked this song. Can still remember when it came out. Then back to some alternative stuff. So Soul Asylum, Black Gold from '92's Grave Dancers Union. And again, this just reminds me of one of the campus bars. It seems like this song would always get played kind of the last hour before bar closed at 2 for us. But classic '90s alt rock, kind of mellow during the verse, and then obviously kicks in during the chorus. But always loved Soul Asylum, and saw this on the track 2 of this album, and wanted to pick it. So then The Cult, Wild Hearted Son from '91's Ceremony. So perfect song in my book, and kind of interesting that this song also, depending on the version that you listen to, but it starts off with kind of the Indian drum beat and chanting, kind of almost similar to the Congo Genesis song from earlier, but just classic, arpeggiated chords from Billy Duffy, and that lead guitar melody, which just has the Cult written all over it. And the vocal is great. The chorus is great. Just love the song. And I've seen them so many times, kind of since the early 2000s, and they do not attempt this song for some reason. I wish they would play it. And then my last song, so back to early '90s, kind of leading into the alternative stuff. So Mother Love Bone, Stardog, Champion from 1990s Apple. So very cool groove, mid-tempo song. Again, great riff, and the vocal from Andrew Wood. Love his voice. And some of the vocal delivery, actually, I just thought of this when I was listening to it, over the last week, but reminds me of Tammy Down at times. And I never really thought about that before, but kind of his delivery has a little faster Pussycat to it. But love the chorus, Stardog, Champion, and then it's interesting, the breakdown, the vocal, the lyrics, and the children used to sing of love and out loud, and so that's kind of foreshadowing to the outro where they've got these all these kids singing some of the background na-na-nas and whoa-ohs as the song comes to a close. So there's my 8-track twos. So why don't we start with so BB, what did you think of that list?
All right, buddy. Song number 1, Warrant, Hole in the Wall. It's Warrant. You know, I'm almost like you. I grew up, you know, graduated school in 91, went to college. Warrant was always on my list. In my book, there's not really a bad song. I don't care if it's a ballad. I don't care if it's a hit. I love a lot of shit that they put out, and this song is definitely one of the top 5 songs Warrant has dropped. Hole in My Wall, I love it. The talk box is just a perfect combination in there to bring something different to the table. Jeannie's vocals are amazing, of course. Song number 2, Winger, Down on Incognito. Kip and Reb, they're like the peanut butter and jelly of like the early 90s. These guys perfect together. There's a little harmonica solo in there, which is so cool. Love when these guys bring this out live. I'm going to combine your song number 3 and 6, Screaming Trees with Nearly Lost You and Soul Asylum Black Gold. These 2 songs brought back so many memories because back in 93, me and a couple guys from Penn State went to see these guys in Hershey. It was some kind of MTV alternative something or other. It was Screaming Trees, Soul Asylum, and the Spin Doctors.
Oh wow, nice.
It was just just something to do. You know, Hershey was a couple hours down the road, and it was a great concert. Definitely a different time back then. And like you said, the music was changing. It was all over MTV. All the college radios were playing these guys. But yeah, they put on a great show. Screaming Trees, I think they only did like 4 songs, but Nearly Lost You was one of them. But they definitely put on a good little concert. Then I'll go back to 4, Pat Benatar. Everybody Lay Down. This is a great building song. The drums in it are great. It's super catchy, and I don't know if it sounds like I know it, but I'm familiar with it, but I'm not. You know what I mean? I don't know, maybe back in, later 90s, I kind of lost Pat Benatar, but the song seemed familiar. I think the chorus was catchy and familiar, but I wasn't 100% sure where I heard it because I definitely don't have this album that it was on. Song number 5, Genesis Congo. Well, you answer my question because I'm like, this song's all right. I'm like, where's Phil? And I go, then it kind of sounds like Sting. And I go, what's going on here? What happened to Genesis? But like you said, they changed singers. So there's another song I was not very familiar with. So I talked about Soul Asylum number 6. 7, The Cult, Wild Hearted Son. Every time Dylan brings the Cult to the table or these guys, I never got into the Cult, but every time I hear the Cult, I enjoy them. Their songs kind of sound the same in a way. So, it has that same tone, the vocal tone, great guitar work. So just one of these days, I'm actually have to really sit down and listen to the Cult. And then now you're really tugging at some strings of Mother Love Bone. As you can see from my list, I have like all of the Mother Love Bone's little cousins on it.
Are you sure it's the heartstrings he's tugging at?
Oh! Whoa! But great song. And once you said Faster Pussycat, I can definitely hear the how similar they do sound at certain parts of that song. But Andrew Wood's vocals are fantastic. Yeah, so let me tell you, Brad, the songs are really, really, really brought back some memories. It was a really, really good list.
Nice. BC, what'd you think of that list?
Oh my! All right, my list, mine in order is not the same as what you read off.
Yeah,
Did off the theme, but I'm gonna start off with the Mother Love Bone. I don't know if out of your whole list, these guys don't grab me at all. What was their song that was big?
Who's that?
Mother Love Bone. Was it this?
Well,
it was something else
yes.
that was on the radio constantly. That was it.
Big?
Well, radio back then. But that song wasn't too bad. This one,
No, it was the big song off of the single soundtrack, "The Crown of Thorns."
If I heard it, maybe it'd bring back.
Yeah, you would. I think you would know it for sure.
Chloe Dancer, maybe something.
Yeah,
there's
Chloe
only
Dancer.
there's only 2 of them that would actually be out there.
Nah, then your second pick, the Cult. I mean, like we said, BB said we always bring up the Cult. So I mean, you can't go wrong with this one. Of course, you got the heritage of the Indians and the drums. I guess classic Cult. The Screaming Trees. I mean, when I saw this, I'm like, I don't know who the hell this is. As soon as I heard it, I'm like, oh, I heard this song a zillion times. Like, if you're in any bar in the 90s when this came out, it was playing in every bar you went to. And I believe, BB, you said you saw him that tour, all these guys together. Did that play? I worked a concert as an EMT, Soul Asylum. It had to be these guys and the doctors, spin doctors.
Did they play a montage?
I don't know. I remember working it.
1, 2 princes stand before you.
Yeah. 2 princes.
I remember because I was just like,
Huh.
That must
Yeah,
have
we saw them in
sucked.
Hershey.
I was getting paid.
93. Was it 93?
Was it? Yeah. But the Screaming Tree song, it's catchy. I mean, nothing I really go for, but I mean, that brought back memories because you walk in every bar and that song would be playing all the time, no matter where you went. Soul Asylum, I like this song. I mean, I'm gonna get some looks from across the table here, but this is the 20. I like the original version. I don't know, you know what I mean? It's more, I don't know if it's raw. Or, this is at least the one that was on the playlist is the 2022 version. Kind of starts off a little guitar-wise, a little differently, but overall, I dig that song very much. Number 5, Warrant, Hole in My Wall. Come on, Warrant, this is a great album. I'm on the same boat as BB. I mean, I've been a fan, and there's not too much I put on by these guys, and it's like, ugh, boy. Even that one album that they did, it was kind of, I don't know what they were trying to do. That catches your ear after a while, and it's very good. Pat Benatar, here's somebody that's been around forever, and you never really, like I said, I've never really gotten into Pat Benatar, but when you hear her songs and everything, your foot's going, your head's going. I mean, you can't go wrong about it. Winner with Down Incognito. Yeah, I mean, these guys are always on the Masters Rock Cruise. They always play this song. I mean, it's killer. I mean, guess like Rob Beach and Kip. Yeah, Rob rips it up. And to finish off your list, Genesis. Again, I don't think I can name 3 Genesis songs. And I was like, listen to this going on. I'm like, who's singing? You know what I mean? And I'm thinking, I knew that one guitar guy did. So I was just going with it. But it catches, it's got a little rhythm to it. I mean, it's not horrible to listen to, but it's catchy. So, I mean, overall, the list is not bad. The one song just didn't grab me at all. Other than that.
Nice. Well, yeah. So Dylan, you're next because I gotta have Steve Finn close it out.
I knew I was going to be last. I knew that.
Yeah, I appreciate you going off the beaten path for these because, you know, I was like, we're going to be listening to so many of the same kind of sounding things, and I'm glad that we, you know, brought out Soul Asylum and Mother Love Bone because very much, I mean, Mother Love Bone only existed in this time frame because of course the lead singer passed away and then everybody went off to form Soundgarden and Pearl Jam and Temple the Dog. Yeah, Temple of the Dog. I always get Temple of the Dog and Hair of the Dog confused. But I thought this was a really good list. Wild Hearted Son, if that intro was cut, I think it would be probably an immediately amazing song. The intro is just a little too long for me, but besides that, I really, really enjoyed it. I liked Hole in My Wall. That was a song that I had not heard from Warrant. Down Incognito was interesting for me because it feels like it's like 5 different songs. Like, it feels like it's this dark song, and then the chorus is like super bright, and I'm like, this is weird. I wasn't expecting the different changes here. The Pat Benatar song I had not heard before. The guitar work on it is really cool. I wish there was like a little more of that, but very much a 90s sounding Pat Benatar song, which was interesting to hear. In Congo, this was the first time I had not heard like a Phil Collins or Peter Gabriel kind of led version of Genesis. So this was very interesting for me to hear. But I really enjoyed the list just for the different factor of it. And of course, Star Dog Champion, great Mother Love Bone song. Fantastic.
Nice. All right. Well, should we move
Speaking
on to
of
the
Mr.
next
Love
list?
Bone
Oh,
here.
Steve. Yeah.
Okay.
About the bone.
Brad, I expected BB to troll me,
Atta boy, Brad.
but I didn't expect it from you. All right. Let's delve into these. I don't have, for some reason, I don't have the songs in the order that everyone is saying them in for some reason. I'll just go what I have them in here. I will start with Mother Love Bone, Star Dog Champion. It actually has a good feel to it. I'm like, Mother Love Bone. I'm like, this is going to suck. But it has a good feel to it. Not at all what I thought it was going to be. All right? And actually, it felt like an Ugly Kid Joe song to me. I'm like, this has that vibe. Like, it has a cool, haunting feel to it. There's some good guitar parts in there. And the chorus, you guys said it. Who'd you guys say?
Faster Pussycat.
Faster Pussycat. I thought that I thought it had a Jane's Addiction feel to it.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that too.
You know, I got a Jane's Addiction vibe from it. I didn't hate it. Okay. The Cult, Wild Hearted Son. I hadn't heard this one before, which I don't know why. In the enchanting at the start and the drums, clean guitar from Billy Duffy, great guitar player. I love Ian Astbury's vocals. The crunchy guitar riff right up to and the kicking is great. And I'm in the same boat as BB. That I kind of put these guys in the category for me like maybe like Avenged Sevenfold. Like, they're a band that like I like, but I forget about until I hear them on like a show that we're doing. You know what I mean? And this song is fucking fantastic. The chorus is great. The background vocals are awesome. And killer pick. The soloing at the end is fucking awesome. This song is fucking killer. I'm going to save that one for a little bit later. Soul Asylum. This one was not good for me. This one was it reminds me of the Ballad of Jane from LA Guns for some reason. There's parts in it that it kind of reminds me of that, and I fucking hate that song. The weird part in the middle with the crowd talking, and then it's just, this song is not for me. Skipper. Sorry, Brad.
Atta boy, Brad.
Warrant, Hole in My Wall. Another Harpo track, BC and BB.
Oh, yeah.
Another Harpo song. We had a local band that used to do this song. They fucking kicked ass doing it.
Oh,
great
awesome.
song.
Cool.
I love the talk box in it. But it goes along with the regular singing. It's fucking, Hole in My Wall is fucking killer song. Pat Benatar, I never heard this one before. This one I'm like, I'm not a huge, I'm not a deep Pat Benatar fan. More of a hits type person. Like if I went to see her, but this one was cool. It was different for her. Had a cool groove to it. Was different, but very good. Winger Incognito. We've seen them do this tons of times. Must see band on Monsters of Rock Cruise. And going back to Hole in My Wall, Warrant has not been on a Monsters of Rock Cruise that we've been on, BC. How is that? How is that not a thing? I don't know.
BC, get Rob on the phone.
Genesis, Congo.
Robert.
This one I'm like, dude, what are you doing? What are you picking here? But then, actually, the first time I listened to it, I was in the car with my wife, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to play the playlist. Because I do this all the time. Like, if we're going somewhere, I'm say, here's the latest playlist of the episode we're doing. It's it's us guys, and I'll say like Brad or Sonny or Steven or whoever's going to be on with this. And then this song comes on. We were right in Providence and Scranton. I'm like, all right, what is this? Starts out with those tribal drums, and I've never heard this one before. And then you get that. I'm like, is that a keyboard or a synth or a guitar synth? What the fuck is that? But like that, when that first like hits in there, I'm like, that is the heaviest thing that fucking Genesis has ever fucking recorded. Right there. Just that fucking chord. I'm like, holy shit. But I didn't hate it. I liked the chorus was cool. The bridge was softer. Had some acoustic towards the end. I kind of like this one. I'm glad you said, because I was going to ask you who sang this song. I didn't know if it was. I know it wasn't Phil Collins. I knew it wasn't Peter Gabriel. And was it Mike? Isn't that Mike from the Mike and Mechanics? Isn't he a Genesis guy too?
Yeah, he's the guitar player.
Yeah, so I didn't know if it was him but I knew it wasn't. I knew it wasn't Phil Collins or Peter Gabriel. So, and I thought maybe it was Mike from the Mike and Mechanics, but it's Ray Wilson. You said the guy's name was
Ray Wilson. Yeah, and I don't know really anything else about him.
Okay,
or what else?
Ray Wilson.
He did okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dylan,
okay.
Isn't that the guy from The Office?
Save that one for
Dwight?
Rainn Wilson.
Oh, that was close.
And then Mother Love Bone. I talked about that one. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I went to go back. I had one I was going back to.
You're Screaming Trees.
Screaming Trees. Nearly Lost You. This is the first Screaming Trees song that I've ever heard. I've never heard anything by these guys. I've heard the name a ton of times. I know Tom from Shout Out Loud Cast is a huge fan of these guys. Yeah. And
you could not go 10 feet without hearing this song.
I've never heard that. I've never heard this fucking song before. It has a good feel to it. I like the guy's vocals. The chorus is fucking awesome. I love the chorus. I know a lot of people hate U2, but the vocals have a Bono feel to me, which I don't mind it. I think it's I really like this one. This one was
I can hear that.
This one was a fucking great pick because I actually, when I was listening to it today, I screenshotted the song. I sent it to Tom. He's like, "Holy shit, that's great from him," and he's called it from a perfect album. So I will they're a band. I will at least check out the album that this song is from. So couple. I don't know if you were trolling or just, but I mean, this was, like you said, this was stuff when you were in college and stuff like that. And I get that you're like you and BB. This was more of your, kind of, the Stephen Michael Bang zone, if you want, if you will. But I saved the Screaming Trees for last. When you sent me these songs, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, God damn. And
then he saw my list.
And then he saw BB, because I had Brad's list before I had anyone else's. But I will say, this may be a first that I had BC's list before I had anyone else's for this show.
Whoa! Holy
Good job, BC.
shit!
Good job, BC.
340 episodes later.
And I think Dylan's was the one I waited for the longest.
Well, because I was in Wisconsin at a wedding.
No excuse.
I got the shit kicked out of me in Wisconsin.
I drove past
What's that from?
Milwaukee.
Anyone know what that's from? Brad, do you know what that's from?
What was it again?
I got the shit kicked out of me in Wisconsin.
Oh shit.
Shit.
It sounds familiar. Yeah,
from Stripes.
Oh fuck.
From Stripes.
Yes.
Come on, Czechoslovakia. It's like going into Wisconsin. I got the shit kicked out of me in Wisconsin.
It's the lesser of the Harold Ramis and Bill Murray collabs.
No, that movie's fucking awesome.
But Ghostbusters is better.
No, it's not.
Ghostbusters 2 is better.
Ghostbusters is not better than Stripes. Damn it.
So the best.
Go get a Ray.
In the text chain was Steve saying some brutal pick.
Yeah. So I will give one of the brutal picks was the Soul Asylum. That was just like that song was a disaster. But I mean, a couple of surprises on there, Brad. So
yeah, nice.
Cool. All right. So there's Dylan's list and Brad's list. This is gonna be a long one tonight. Are we doing gems tonight, Dylan?
No.
We're not doing gems.
Okay. No way!
Come on, I fucking have an awesome one, right? Don't I, BB?
You gotta be less long-winded if you want your gems.
I don't care. It's the first time we're recording
You
this
can't
year.
have your gems unless you eat your meal.
No gems unless you eat your meal.
Right.
You gotta eat your
God damn it,
Ovaltine.
Dylan's pooping. Well, anyway, we'll still do a gym song. Stick within the realm of our parameters of years here. Everyone else can crack a new beer, take a leak or whatever. But while we're doing that, we're going to play one of BC's favorite songs from a band that I actually believe legitimately retired in September. Kicks. From the 1991 album Hot Wire. BC's favorite song from that album is what?
Girl Money.
Girl Money. Play it, Dylan.
the finest French wine. I was headed for heaven, but she took the wheel. She took me to the queen, now she knows how it feels. Out all night, time to get started. Saving all week for a bang boom party. Dollar for a drink, dollar for the honey. Burning a hole, gonna spend my girl money. Girl money. Long-legged Rosie from Baltimore took me farther than I've been before. Oh, she loved me for those diamonds and pearls. Took me for a ride, took me around the world. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Keep driving me crazy. You know the story I'm speaking of. Champagne, red roses, and limos. Head first to the tower of love. Sometimes you round, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but sometimes you win. Playing the game, you're paying the price. We're throwing a party and you're coming tonight. Yeah, yeah. Out all night, time to get started. Saving all week for a bang boom party. Dollar for a drink, dollar for the honey. Burning a hole, gonna spend my girl money. Out all night, time to get started. Saving all week for a bang boom party. Dollar for a drink, dollar for the honey. Burning a hole, gonna spend my girl money. Spend my girl money.
All right, welcome back. Hope you guys enjoys BC's favorite song from the Hot Wire album, which was what?
Girl Money.
Girl Money. Fucking awesome song from an awesome band. And I truly believe that they have retired and they had an awesome run. They were probably the band that back in the day, BC and I saw the most. Probably the most band I've seen the most ever.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Kicks.
Yeah, because they're M3 every year.
I mean, they played M3 every year.
They're always an open for everybody, right?
Fucking band in the late 80s, early 90s. And great band. Love Kicks. Our buddy Joe Casero's favorite band. And just go check out some Kicks. They're like, and we've talked to Sonny Pooney many times, they are like the East Coast Y&T.
Okay.
Because like Sonny, I think he said he's seen them maybe once or twice. We've seen them a ton of times. We've seen like Y&T once or twice because of the location difference.
Yeah.
So, Brad, are you a Kicks fan?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, I know we did Funny Money.
Yeah, I lived out there.
Oh, that's right.
Kind of in the early 2000s. Did you guys ever see them at Hammerjacks? Did I ask you that before, Steve? If
you did, but I haven't. No.
No, yeah, and I never.
We never had to leave home. They always play.
No, they played so close. We never had to go to Maryland to see them except for M3.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, love Kicks. Absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah, they had an awesome career. I still they're a regular spin here at the 62. So Next up on the list, since we're skipping the gems because Dylan's being a Scrooge first thing of the year, BB, you're up next, buddy.
Alrighty.
Sorry, Dylan.
I may have trolled half my list. But
Half?
yeah, I really didn't have not any scientific method to this list. I just kind of threw some shit together, and some of it was off the top of my head, some of it was not. But I started off my list with Warrant's Uncle Tom's Cabin, which was released in 1990. This is probably my favorite Warrant song ever. It could even be my favorite song ever. And I always throw this on. If this was like a guess who picked it list, everybody would know this is my song. I absolutely love it. It paints a picture in my head every time I hear it. The steel guitar, the harmonica, Janie's vocals, just fantastic. I can't say any more than that. Love, 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 love. Absolutely love, love, love Uncle Tom's Cabin. Song number 2 I picked was from Armored Saint. Years 1991, off the Symbol of Salvation albums. The year I graduated, 1991. I think I even picked this album from the year the episode we did, the year you graduated. Dropping Like Flies. John Bush's vocals are fantastic on the song. I love the chugging riff in it throughout the whole song. The band harmonies are great at the chorus, of course. And the Phil and Jeff's outro solo is fucking like an outro solo sick bananas. It's fucking great outro solo. Really, really good. Song number 3 I picked was Megadeth off the Countdown to Extinction album from 1992. Symphony of Destruction is track number 2. If we did like an album of the year from 1992, I played the absolute fuck out of this album. And I knew within these years, I'm going to see what's on Megadeth's Countdown to Extinction, because I absolutely love this album. And had to be, I think this was actually released as a single, but like I said, these guys, Mustaine and Elfson, Marty Friedman and Menza played drums. That's almost like a one of those super groups in a way. But this album really, really did it for me in 92. Song number 4 I picked Motley Crue, the controversial self-titled Motley Crue album from 1994. Song number 2 on that album is Uncle Jack. Love Karabi's vocals. I love this album when he fronted Motley Crue. I love that high-pitched screams he does at parts of the chorus. There's some cool stop and start parts. The solo's great. The outro solo's deep and dark. Great song. Here we go, Righty. You ready? Buckle your seats, because this is where it gets a little bumpy.
Stand by for turbulence.
Song number 5 from 1992. Stone Temple Pilots off their debut album, core album, Sex Type Thing. A very popular song from these guys. This is actually the first grunge album that I owned. The drums on this song are just so loud. Scott's vocals are great. They had that unique sound to them back then. And the guitars were like super like gritty at the time this came out. Definitely a desert island album for me. Song number 6 from 1994, Pearl Jam's Spin the Black Circle. In Righty, super fast, super short, but it's all about spinning records. Get out there and spin your black circle, Righty.
I didn't know that.
See? It could have been, well, now they have to change it to spin your splatter vinyl.
Splatter colored vinyl.
Yes. Spin your orange circle, red circle, blue. But yeah, this was definitely a pick, because I figured, this fits perfectly into this collection of vinyl that we've all started here. The drums in these grunge era songs, they're just so good. Definitely, there's different parts of this song. It has like, it's super short, but it has like layered guitar parts. Really, really cool. Song number 7, the longest song we'll talk about tonight. At 11 minutes and 11 seconds, almost like Make Your Wish. It's like Make Your Wish song, BC. So 11:11, Make Your Wish. From 1991, off their self-titled album, song number 2 is Reach Down. This song is actually written in memory of Andy Wood that we already talked about on Brad's list from the lead singer of Mother Love Bone. This is kind of one of those things that him and Chris Cornell talked about, playing big festivals and seeing these big crowds and reaching down and get the crowd up and get in them and get them pumped up and really start enjoying the show. Cornell's vocals are just out of this world, as everybody has known me. I love his vocals, especially the screaming parts towards the end there at the after the long solo. This is almost like the Dream Theater of alternative songs. But the two guitar players, Jeff Ament and Stone Grosser, they were kind of channeling Stevie Ray Vaughan and Neil Young. So if you hear that long solo, you can definitely hear those two guitar players in there. And I'm closing out my list at song number 8 from Alice in Chains in 1994 off their album Jar of Flies with Nutshell. I love the slow acoustic start, how it builds into electric guitar. Like I said before, Lane sings this with so much emotion. And pretty much in a nutshell, the song's about loneliness, despair, and death, with a lot of, the grunge stuff was a little bit dark, a little bit deeper stuff back then. So there's an odd list from myself there, boy. So what'd you think there, BC?
Alrighty, BB, with opening it up with Warrant, Uncle Tom's Cabin. I can remember this came out. I believe it was the first single off their album at the time. And they said, ooh. I'm like, this is different. Then the little banjo type, and I'm going,
Where are we going with
I
this?
was getting a little sweat on the forehead going, And then all of a sudden it just kicks in, and bam, I mean, I was hooked. And that was the start of a great album by these guys. Armored Saint, John Bush, dropping like flies. This is such a great album. I mean, not that they had a bad album, but this album, I think, kept going up for them. Megadeth, number 3, you had Sympathy of Destruction. Like you said, you played the shit out of it. I played the shit out of it. I mean, it was such a departure from maybe their trash sound, but
There's that MTV sound. They got them out on the radio and that.
That was the big thing back then. You had to do that to survive. Number 4, Motley Crue, Uncle Jack. I love this album. I mean, a lot of people hate it, but I mean, I think it was just such a departure from the crew of the past. I mean, and you had a new John Crowley, the mayor. But I get musically, you can't go wrong. Number 5, SDP with Sex Type Day. Come on, I love this song. Just I mean, I was right on board with this from the get go. Pearl Jam, Spin the Black Circle. I didn't know it was about vinyl neither. Not that I was very familiar with this song. Not bad. Very fast. Very I like their early stuff. First 2 albums, maybe a little bit of the third. Number 7, Tip of the Dog. I never heard the song until now. I really dig this song.
Right.
I love the solo, or the solos. I never heard nothing but I'm going hungry.
Oh yeah, see.
Yeah, Hunger Strike.
Yep.
So and then here I saw Tip of the Dog. Okay. But no, I ended up really liking this. And number 8, Alice in Chains. I'm an Alice in Chains guy. I liked them since they first came out. I don't think they were grunge when they first came out. I just thought they were like a heavier, darker rock. But you finish off in a nutshell. Not bad overall. Very good list.
In a nutshell, that's my list.
In a nutshell, it's a very good list.
You know what, Righty? We'll get you out of the way.
Whoa.
Okay. Warren, Uncle Tom's Cabin, BB staple. We've talked about this song a billion times on the show.
I won't talk about this song for the rest of the year.
BB picks it a lot, which is totally fine with me because the song is fucking awesome. The song's great. We've even talked about the video on the show. Just great storytelling song. You know what I mean? It's really cool. Armored Saint, Dropping Like Flies. I forgot that this was a graduation album for you.
Yeah, love this album.
Absolutely love this. This was kind of the comeback album for Armored Saint. they'd been on a hiatus for a while, and they came back in '91. I love the drumming. The snare work on this song is great. This was always a standout song on Symbol of Salvation for me. The build to the solo is great. Phil does the first solo, then Jeff does the second one, and then at the end they just both fucking tear it up. But like live, that last solo Jeff Duncan does.
Oh, okay.
Because I actually watched that today because I just wanted to see how they pulled that off live. So Phil does the chords and Jeff does the actual solo at the end of the song. Megadeth Symphony of Destruction. Megadeth staple, good stopping one. The bass is friggin' cool underneath. Great chorus. The solo, you know what? I never really paid attention to the solo on this song for some reason. You know what I mean? Because it seems like more of a kind of a mainstream type of Megadeth song that I really hadn't like. When you hear like Holy Wars, or you hear Hangar 18, you're like really paying attention to the soloing because it's like fucking crazy, and it's that upper tempo shit. But like the solo on this one is really, really good. And it's the first I really paid attention. Motley Crue, Uncle Jack, Motley Crue '94. This song, I was telling BC the other day when he relieved me, or I relieved him, or on some shift or whatever. I'm like, this song was that Uncle Jack. That was in my fucking head for days. It was just a goddamn earworm for me. Stone Temple Pilots Sex type thing. I don't think you trolled me on this one. I think you tried to, but I really like this one. It's Kiss War Machine.
That's true.
It's Kiss War Machine. No solo in it, but I forgive them because this song fucking rocks. Pearl Jam, Splendid Black Circle. This was a troll song for sure. I really wrote that. Another track, BB trying to kill me. Fast song, very, very up tempo for Pearl Jam. Very punk vibe to it. I didn't hate it. I'll skip Temple the Dog for a second. Alice in Chains Nutshell, absolutely horrible. Absolutely fucking
there we go.
Terrible.
Woo-hoo!
Terrible song. I will reveal it now. The worst song that we will talk about all fucking night. It's horrible. Absolutely terrible and depressing. Temple of the Dog, Reach
By
Down.
design.
For sure.
Oh, absolutely. If I ever bought this, and I don't even know what the first song is, if this was like the second song, I would pull a Sonny Pooney. The window would come down, and the CD would come out, and it would fly out the fucking window. For sure. Temple of the Dog. I'm like, I saw this, and I'm like, motherfucker, because I fucking hate that Hunger Strike song. I want to kill myself when I fucking hear that. I fucking hate it. Something, and this is going to be another one of them. I'm like, the fuck? But then I'm like, ooh, okay, kind of perked my ears a little bit. Musically, I don't know if anyone got it. This is a ripoff of Have a Cigar from Pink Floyd.
I'm not familiar with it.
Listen to listen to it.
Yeah, I can totally hear
It
that.
is a total ripoff of fucking Pink Floyd's Have a Cigar.
And who covered that? Foo Fighters.
Oh, did they? Oh,
Yep,
cool.
and Taylor did the vocals.
Is it
Limp
Chris,
Bizkit?
is it Chris Cornell singing this song?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. I thought so. I looked like even before I listened to him like 12 minutes. I'm like, he's he's
Dream
he's
theater of
starting-
alternative music.
He's starting the fucking year off fucking great. And I was like, kill me now before I even listened to it. But I gave it a shot. The chorus is terrible. I fucking hate the chorus in the song. I really do. It's that whiny shit. But the lead work and the drums are fucking killer on this song. The wah pedal shit is good there. There's two different guitar players playing in this song. I don't know if it's one guy double tracking shit, but there's definitely two guitars going there.
They're both go into Pearl Jam.
From like 5 minutes on, it's a jam. It's a fucking just jam. I'm like, I was all in.
It was recorded in one take.
Really?
Yeah.
These guys fucking killed it.
Yep.
They killed it. I will. They stress. I love when songs are stretched out like that. Fucking awesome.
All right.
Except for the chorus. The chorus was horrible.
Chorus in a nutshell. All right.
You got the nutshell.
All right. I'll take 6.5.
Right.
Brad, what you think?
Oh yeah, great combination of some older school stuff and stuff from the 90s. Obviously, Uncle Tom's Cabin, total jam. Should have been the name of the album.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Versus Cherry Pie, but yeah, great song. Armored Saint, Dropping Like Flies. Love that song. I mean, that chorus with them going back and forth, the kind of the call and response with Bush and Bush's interjections in there, just awesome. Great song. Love it. Symphony of Destruction. Not much more to say. I mean, I never skip this song. It's that good. That riff, that crunchy riff is so good. And that like the lyric towards the end when he says the earth starts to rumble, world powers fall. I just love that part. Great. I'm a fan of hard rock Megadeth, which we have some more hard rock Megadeth coming up later as well. But yeah, I love that 90s stuff from them. Stone Temple Pilots. Yeah, Steve, you stole the words out of my mouth. That's just an upbeat War Machine riff, which is great. Love Weiland's delivery. Always loved that song. Pearl Jam, Spin the Black Circle. So again, going to school during this time. I mean, when the second Pearl Jam album came out, it came out at midnight. It was that era, right, of stuff coming out the night before at midnight. And I remember this album coming out. This was my senior year in the fall of 94, I think, when this came out. But just this punk feel, almost minor chords in there. Never was a big fan of this song. Temple of the Dog. Oh, BB. I mean, I was going through I've got playlists kind of for every year, and I was going through all of them just to get kind of a feel. And I saw Temple of the Dog, and I looked at the album. I'm like, I'm not picking an 11-minute song to throw at these guys. And when I saw it on the list, I swore it was Dylan. I almost thought that was a Dylan pick initially when I saw it. But cool song, cool groove. Just the soloing in it is great. And then Alice in Chains Nutshell, just sorry, Steve. One of the best songs on all of these lists. Absolutely love it. Love the vibe, and again the fact that it opened that Unplugged, which is so iconic.
Thanks for coming on, Brad.
Something. Tells you something as well. So great list, BB. Some stuff that I would have picked too. So
nice, thank you. All right, Dylan, bring it home there, kiddo.
Okay, yeah. I very much enjoy this list. This is a very good. Very varied list. Except for Uncle Tom's Cabin. If I had $1 for every time we talk about Uncle Tom's Cabin on this podcast.
Yep, I got it in for the year. Now I'm done.
Yeah, I'm
maybe
gonna hold
in
you
February
to that.
I'll talk about Black Label Society. Then I'll be done for the year.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a great song though. I understand why you want to keep talking about it. And you kept the hit train going with Symphony of Destruction. It's you take a mortal man. I like that you did the hits and then you did the uncles.
That's right.
You did Uncle Jack. Yeah, I had not heard Spin the Black Circle before because Vitalogy's not like
that's
not an album that I go to a lot. But that was good, nice and quick. It reached down. It is very ballsy to put an 11-minute song as your second track.
Well, the story is. They wanted it Chris wanted it number 1 to piss off the record company.
Yeah, that'd do it. Yeah, no, but the solos on it are just phenomenal. Worth the wait to get there. Nutshell, I love Nutshell, but like it's that Unplugged syndrome where I like the Unplugged version better.
Oh, okay.
It just has that feel to it, and it feels like this version is almost rushed compared to the Unplugged one.
Oh, sure.
Like the Unplugged has a little bit more of a better pace.
And it's so crazy. Like, this is probably one of their top 3 songs, and it was never released as a single.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
An amazing song to open, like, the Unplugged set with.
But if they do it and it gets over quicker, it's way better.
No. But this was a very, very solid list. I very much enjoyed it. Great job.
Good.
All right. I'm next in the rotation here. Okay, you won't hear any of that grunge or alternative stuff in this list here, as you could probably guess.
What are you talking about? Rush is the most alternative band of the list.
First song, Dylan gave it away. Rush, Driven, from the Test for Echo album from 1996. That you get the sense of driving, like right off the bat. The heavy riffing is great. There's an acoustic part. It's my turn to drive. Like, it's really cool with like little softer vocals in there. I love the feel of this song. It's like heavy Rush, which I love the heavier Rush stuff. The bass is absolutely sick on this one. No real solo, but there's a really cool bass part, and the guitar's kind of wailing in the background. Check out the version on Russian Rio. Just absolutely fucking amped up 100 times. It kicks up for the chorus, some really cool leads at the end. Just a fun, I would say kind of a deep track for Rush. Like the hits people would never even know what the fuck song this is, but it's really, really fucking good. Number 2, Steelheart, Sticky Side Up from the Tangled in the Rains album from 1992. Sonny Pooney's love interest, Mitilo Milikovic, whatever his name is there. Sonny was stalking him at the hot tub on Monsters of Rock Cruise, probably 10 at our morning perch. But great song, cool build up to the main riff. It comes down for a little bit for the very first part of the verse, but then it kicks up in tempo. Fun song, awesome chorus, some really cool lead little squeals here and there. Solo fucking absolutely rips in there, so I apologize. I have no idea what the guitar player's name is in this one. How could you go wrong? You got some cowbell. First cowbell song of the night, BB.
Yeah.
And this one's even got some Dylan jaunty piano in this one. Come on, cowbell and jaunty piano. How the fuck can you go wrong? Amazing leads at the end. Fun fucking song. I go to Black Sabbath for my third track. Get a Grip from the Forbidden album from 1995. Pretty much because Brad, I know you did a segment on the Tony Martin era, Black Sabbath stuff, which is awesome. That is right in my. I love the Tony Martin stuff, and apparently, actually, some of the news today was that there's supposed to be a box set coming out of the Tony Martin era Sabbath stuff with redone stuff on there. So I'm absolutely looking forward to that. And I'm glad we didn't do track 1, because track 1 on this Forbidden album is fucking terrible. It's the one that's got Ice-T rapping in it or some fucking thing. Fucking terrible.
That's right.
But track 2, they get back on track, Get a Grip. And actually, 3 of us at this table here, well, probably 2.5 of us saw this song performed live.
That's true.
With Tony Martin. BB, I think he was doing the first BB lean against the wall during this show. But we did see Black Sabbath on the Forbidden tour, and we did get to see them perform this live. This album gets a lot of shit, but there are some really good stuff on there. Tony Iommi's licks are great. It's got a great takeoff type solo on there. And if you listen to this song, it kind of has a feel like it could have been on, musically, could have been on Heaven and Hell. For me, the music, and the tempo kicks up at the end, and the last minute is killer. Like I said, I love the Tony Martin era stuff, Sabbath stuff. Number 4, I know this is going to be a BC favorite of the night. Vince Neil's Sister of Pain from the Exposed album in 1993. I remember the day we picked this up, cruised around. I won't. We did some stuff that you're not really shouldn't be doing, like with alcohol involved in vehicles, but Vince Neil even sounds good on this album. Steve Stevens' guitar is friggin' killer on there. You get the very melodic playing, and there's some shredding for the solo, builds back into the song. Well-crafted song. I think this song is just fucking fantastic. Number 5, the first band that I saw open for Kiss when I saw them for the first time in 1990, Little Caesar, song Hard Times from the Little Caesar self-titled album in 1990. Fun driving beat of the song. I really love Ron Young's vocals on this one. Great gang vocals for the verse. Kick-ass licks. The soloing is fantastic. You get 2 different guitar players playing the solo on this one. Fun rocking track. I love it. From the much kind of forgotten second album from this band, Trickster, the Here album from 1992. The song is called Damn Good. Monster riff gets this song going. One of the most rocking Trickster songs that anyone will ever hear that you really don't get to hear. Fun head bobber. Very melodic pre-chorus. Gang vocals for the chorus. Steve Brown just solo just fucking kicks ass. The song rocks. And I'll tell you what, if you are a fan of what's that Give It To Me Good is the song from the first album. This song alone blows that whole first album away. So check out the second Trickster album here from 1992. Number 7, I gotta go with my boys, the Damn Yankees. 15 Minutes of Fame from the Don't Tread album from 1992. A little crowd noise in the beginning. You get a little siren-like guitar, then it kicks in. This song's got all my stuff. I love it. It's got the ahs in there. Even the bass, you can even usually when you get an album with Jack Blades, you usually don't hear the bass in it a lot. But you hear the bass good in this one. Tommy Shaw sings the vocals on this. Awesome. Monster riff in this song. And it runs under the chorus. I love when you get the main riff in a song that goes underneath the chorus. Background vocals are fantastic. Ted absolutely fucking tears it up on the solo on this one. The ahs come back underneath the chorus at the end with the monster riff. I love and I miss the Damn Yankees, man. I mean, they can get together in a fucking heartbeat and do an album. It would be fucking awesome. And speaking of Jack Blades and Night Ranger, my last song is going to be Night Ranger, the title track from the 1997 album Neverland. Heavy Night Ranger, more cowbell BB for you. Some great layered vocals in there, heavy riff. In this album, like people, if you say, "Oh, did you ever hear the Night Ranger Neverland album?" People be going like, "What? Like, what is that?" Album is fucking killer. This is another unbelievably great forgotten album from this era, which is kind of how I wanted to touch on this era of music. The song just rocks. The solo is great, fun track. So that's what I got. So let's hear from Dylan on this one.
Yeah, this was a very, very, very solid list. The only thing that I really had any kind of qualms with was the Night Ranger song because it was a little too repetitive. It kept going to the well a little too much with the lyrics. Like there wasn't like any changes with that. I don't know. It just felt like it kept going over and over again. The Black Sabbath song was fantastic. I had not heard that before. I really enjoyed that. I really need to listen to more of like the. It's tough because it's not really.
A lot of it's not on streaming.
It's not on streaming.
Because I was able to download.
None of it is.
Yeah,
I don't think any of it is.
Yeah.
So I had to YouTube it.
I think Cross Purposes and
Forbidden
are not, because I was able to load them on my iTunes somehow, which I don't even know how the fuck that even happened.
Driven's a classic. This was the first time that I noticed the three figures on the album cover.
On Test Freckle?
Yeah, on Test Freckle.
Yeah.
Like I had never noticed them on the stone person, and I was like, "Oh, wait, is that?" I didn't even know they were there. I just thought it was stone person in a snowy field, and
it's not.
There's
it's
more
a
to
Hugh
it.
Syme album. There's more to it than it looks.
Yep, exactly. Steelheart, the Sticky Side Up was fantastic. Steelheart's a band that I need to break into more. I've only really heard the stuff that they play live from Steelheart, as well as, of course, Rockstar. But really, really great list of songs that, for the most part, we haven't really talked about before. Sister Pain we've talked about a couple times, but besides that, all these songs are, I think, newer to our discussion. So good job,
Duncan. BB.
Good job. You did your homework. See? Rush with Driven. Yeah, I didn't. I checked out of Rush this time. Like this Test of Echo, I've never listened to. I didn't even know it existed. But the music was great. The solo, the outro solo was really good. I just couldn't get into it. I don't know what it is, and I'm a Rush fan.
We did that album with Mark.
Did we?
We've done all the Rush albums with Mark.
I don't know if I was on this one. I don't know. I'll have to check, but I don't remember that one. See? My brain doesn't work righty. Steelheart, Sticky Side Up, almost carbon copy of what you said. It's a fun song. The chorus is super catchy. Love the jaunty piano in it. Black Sabbath, this was the song that, remember I sent out in the text, I'm like, hey, I've only got 39 songs.
Yeah,
but
that was the one.
Was that the one? Okay.
This is the one that was not on the list. But
because I was able to send it to my list, but it mustn't have translated everyone else's.
Yeah, you must
stuff.
have it downloaded in your Apple somehow.
I do, but I didn't know. I figured it would have went through, but I apparently it did not.
Yeah, no, but just like Dylan, I did it on YouTube, and yeah, Tony Martin's vocals on this are great, and it seems like you said Mob Rules. I get more of a dehumanizer. It may even be a leftover because I was reading comments as I was listening. Like it may be a dehumanizer leftover, but Tony Iommi's 2 solos are fantastic. Vince Neil's Sister of Pain, off the scale. Killer solo, great. This is one of the that Exposed album is fantastic front to back. Little Caesar, Hard Times, Straightforward Rocker, cool guitar distortion, great band. Love these guys. Trickster with Damn Good. Now, I absolutely love when we do songs out of this album because, like you said, it's that album that everybody forgets, and every time somebody brings something to that album, it is so fucking good. Damn Yankees, 15 Minutes of Fame. Uncle Ted's playing on this is fucking sick bananas. The band solo, the band harmonies at the chorus are off the scale. Fantastic. My favorite song on Don't Tread. And Night Ranger, Neverland. Good rockin' Night Ranger song. I wish Brad's solo was a little bit longer. It's kind of short, but every once in a while I want to hear Brad like tear it up because he can. And that was my only crime with that was just a little bit too short. But yeah, other than me not getting into that Rush song, solid list, buddy.
All right, BC.
Rush, Driven. I mean, to me, when it comes to Rush, I mean, this is more rocking for Rush, I guess you would say.
Like heavy Rush.
Heavy Rush. Can't go around there.
It was a return to form.
Return to old school. Steel Heart. I think these guys are. Back in the day, I never got to see them. I wonder how they were originally. Like
I know.
The original.
They were great on Mork.
Yeah. When did we first see them?
M3.
Probably M3.
Oh no, M3. Yeah,
M3 at the little stage on the hill.
Yeah.
He came out.
Yeah.
He still got the
Dude
punch.
still sounds like that.
But I mean, Sticky Side, they're, like you said, fun song. Just, I think this is a very underrated album. I have it on vinyl.
I gotta get it.
Pick it up.
Fucker.
Oh, number 3, Black Sabbath, Get a Grip. All I'm gonna say is, I love this album. I love Tony Martin. So when you said Tony Martin's good at box set or whatever,
I just saw that today.
my 2 ears went up like a dog.
His tail was wagging too.
Tail was wagging in the back. Vince Neil, Sister of Pain. Oh, this album always brings back fun memories there.
That was a great day.
That's fucking. But I mean, just this whole album. Steve Stevens is playing on this, and
Robbie Crane on bass.
Robbie Crane, Vince Neil could sing. I mean, and number 5, Little Caesar. I love this album. And Hard Times is just fucking one of the great songs on there. I mean, I think it was a few months back. I had this in my player, and I could not get it out. Just like love. Trickster, number 6, Damn Good. I mean, again, this is a forgotten album. I don't care who you talk to people, oh, Trickster. Oh, they named everything off the first album. Like, there's this second album, like,
blows it away.
Blows the first album away. Not taking anything away from the first album, but musically, production, this and the songs. I mean, so much better than $1,000,001 and what's that one? Give It to Me Good. Number 7, Damn Yankees, 15 Minutes of Fame. Like I said, a lot of people out there want the Damn Yankees to get back together and do another album, so we're not the only ones. But this is just a good driving song. How can you go wrong with the Damn Yankees? And you finished up your list with Night Ranger, Neverland. I remember this came out. I think it was this the first one in a while? Because 7 was.
It was kind of a comeback kind of thing.
So that's kind of.
It was after Feeding Off the Mojo.
Okay, so the Night
That's
Ranger
the Gary Moon era
Gary
of
Moon.
Night Ranger.
That's a good album.
That is a good album. I like it. Yeah.
But when this first came out, I was like, yes, they're back. You know, another great album. I mean, I just love the the groove on it is just great. So yeah, great list.
All right, Brad, what do you got, buddy?
Yeah, so artist-wise, no real surprises, on this list. From I know you well enough, Steve, that you're a fan of most of these bands, but obviously the era, the time frame, there's some deeper cuts in here. But so with Rush, I kind of checked out after Counterparts. I mean, I went back to this later stuff and listened to it. Some of Getty's delivery, I wasn't a huge fan of, and I swore at the end, because they're saying driven to the margin of terror or whatever, I swear he says Margan. It just caught my ear. I'm like, what does that mean?
Who among us has not been driven to the Margan?
By the Margan, right? Yeah. Steel Heart, Sticky Side Up. Yeah, great song. I mean, Smooth Side Down, Sticky Side Up. What are they talking about there, Steve? That's
open to your own interpretation.
Interpretation, yeah. Black Sabbath, Tony Martin era stuff, yeah, totally underrated. Vocal sometimes he reminds me, or maybe it's the other way around, but Robin McCauley. I hear McCauley's vocal when I hear some of the Tony Martin stuff, which is again not a bad thing, and a big fan of that era. Vince Neil, Sister of Pain. Again, yeah, best part of this song, Steve Stevens. Best part of the album, Steve Stevens, as far as I'm concerned. Again, Vince doesn't sound bad on it, but yeah, Steve steals the show, I think, on that album. Little Caesar, so underrated. And if you guys have heard Ron Young, that's his name, right?
Yep.
And his interviews that he's been on some of our podcast friends shows, and God, that story is heartbreaking. Just how his career just unfortunately did not go the way that it should have. And yeah, just underrated band and album. Great song. Trickster. So yeah, so when this album came out, they were on tour with Kiss, opening the Revenge tour. So I saw them and Great White open for Kiss on this tour. And they did some of these songs, and I think when I did the episode covering that tour, I proclaimed that first Trickster album is the worst hair band album ever released. I mean, I think I said that on that episode, and then this thing, like you guys said, never gets talked about. Mm-mm. The songs are great. I mean, damn good. My comment is it's damn good. It's just it's cool, heavy stuff. I mean, it sounds like Firehouse, Slaughter, Warrant, kind of that stuff during that early 90s era versus whatever they were doing on that first album. Damn Yankees. The riffing sounds very Nugent. Sounds like something from 70s Nugent to me, again, which isn't a bad thing. I prefer the first album more than the second album. And then Night Ranger, Nevermind. The intro, that intro sounds like Joe Satriani's Summer Song to me, just the way that
the tone, yeah,
that song starts. But there's just some harmonies don't do it for me, and almost some of the vocal sounds a little whiny to me on that song. And like Dylan mentioned, the repetitive. Yeah, how many times do they say, "I do believe I have a plan"? They say that like a dozen times throughout the song. But overall, Steve, good list.
All right, coolness. We're down to the last list, and we say BC for last. What do you got, BC?
Alrighty. Trying to get a list together for this. I mean, when you really sit down and look at it, there's tons of good shit in the 90s that went under the radar. But I'm going to start off my list with number one with the Triumph off of Edge of Excess with Troublemaker from 1992. I mean, here's a band I need to get more into it. I always say that, and then you get
there's so much other
shit. But I guess the kick kicks in. It's so upbeat. It has the double bass and the double bass drums. It has that 10 Nugent to start it off. The solo in this is just off the scale. I mean, here's an album I gotta dive back into. Very, very underrated, I thought. Number two, Tora Tora with their second album, which another album that kind of went under the radar. But they track 2, Amnesia, off of Wild America, another 1992 song. I mean, it opens up the chunky riff, but then when you get into the chorus and everything, it has a big band feel, but like hard rock. Dun, dun, dun. I can see the guy like in front of the people at the band. For some reason, catchy chorus. I love the killer bass line that's underneath the solo.
We saw them do that in Nashville.
And yeah, and it has hey hey hey's for Steve. How can you go wrong? Oh, okay. I'm gonna move up 2 years to 1994. My third pick, off of "Bust a Nut" from Tesla, the Solution. I just love the riff in the song because it opened. I think overall that riff drives throughout the whole song. It has that vocally catchiness to it. The solo to me was a little bit different compared to the rest of the song being so. Yeah. The solo was kind of like in reverse. Like usually the solo should rip it up, and I think the riff ripped up throughout the song, and then the solo was kind of. But overall, I can overlook that. Number 4, I'm gonna go with again 1994 with Sabotage from the Handful of Rain album with the title track Handful of Rain. I mean, there's this vocalist from this band. I don't know if you guys ever heard of him, Zach Stevens.
Is he new?
He's new. He's a new guy. He hasn't been on too much lately, but I love the opening guitar, and then with the vocals, and then it just kicks in that heavy riff, and then they have those little bluesy solo parts after the verses and stuff. Because there is no solo in the song, just a little the part there with him and Zach, but it's not really solo, so which kind of let me down. I was hoping for like a good bluesy ripping solo. Again, can't go wrong with that. We're gonna go back earlier than my 5th pick from 1991's self-titled debut album from Asphalt Ballet. I love the riff kicking into it, and again, I don't know, my ears are different now than I was when I was younger. I hear all this bass and everything anymore now. I don't know, it's not reissued or anything, but I never picked up on the great bass lines in this song. It has a cool solo. I love the rhythm part underneath it. In this album, the production I thought was very good overall here and everything. But that's Asphalt. Let's see. Number 6. I'm going back to 1994. Can't get away from 1994. With the Accept off the Death Row album, Sodom and Gomorrah. This gets right out of the gate. Kicks it right in. It has that killer bass line. It has that riff, the little solo parts. Then you get to the soul. To me, that's just off the scale. Solo for Accept. No surprise. They have the classic Accept backing vocals. It has everything you want from an Accept song. And like I said, the solo is just. I'm going to move back a few years. 1992. Still getting in these years I was trying to get away from. Great White off of I think is a great album, Psycho City from 1992. Step on You opens up at typical Great White, open up with some bass with a little guitar and into the killer riff. It has the groovy chorus. It has I like the little, I call it low section before the solo, and then when the solo kicks in, Kindle. He's very underrated. You don't hear too many people talk about Mark Kindle, but I think he's very, very underrated. Now I'm going to finish off my list for number 8 from 1997 with the Megadeth's off of Cryptic Writings with Almost Honest. This whole album, the tone of the guitar, the open riff, again, my ears are picking up these bass lines in all these songs. I don't know why it's I don't hear the vocals or guitar anymore. I'm just hearing. I don't know where that happened, where that started to happen.
Your ears are so shut, you're just picking up the low end anymore.
I guess. I guess that might be it. But I mean, this whole album is just killer back then. Mustaine's doing his spoken vocals, as I call it, because he's not the greatest singer, so he's there. I do a lot of spoken vocals. But no, that's my list. Brad, what do you think?
Yeah, great list, BC. You always you introduce me to some stuff that I haven't heard before when I come on the podcast. So appreciate that. So Triumph, a Troublemaker. Again, I'm a fan of this album, even though it's the Triumph purists, with no Rick Emmett and Phil X on guitar. But I just, that mindset, I don't understand why you're not going to listen to something or not going to like it because it doesn't have the original band. I don't get that. So, I actually love the song. Great. It's heavier, it's a heavier Triumph than the early 80s stuff and late 70s stuff that they put out, but good stuff. Tora, yeah, can't go wrong. The vocals so good, and the haze. The haze in there almost, to me, maybe don't fit they're almost like heavy. Hey, and this song's more bluesy, so it doesn't exactly match, but still dig it. Tesla Solution, yeah, I mean, heavy, crunchy riff for the mid 90s. 95, I think, is when this came out. So kind of fits that era, but is very, very cool. So Sabotage or Savatage, right? Whatever it is that you say. Had not heard this song, but heard almost. It kind of sounded like the No More Tears bass line, kind of at the beginning to me a little bit. And then I heard some TSO stuff in it, which probably isn't a surprise considering these are the guys that did the TSO stuff. And then the bluesy stuff, sounded like Cinderella to me. So again, I dug the song, hadn't heard it before. Asphalt Ballet, yeah, I hadn't heard this before either. The riff kind of reminded me of early 80s Scorps, and then I heard in the vocal, I heard Steve Whiteman and Jack Russell, which is not a bad thing. Dug that song as well. Mid 90s Accept, so yeah, I think they were a 4-piece at this point. But yeah, like you said, BC, sounds like Accept, had the backing vocals. Again, up-tempo song, which I guess I kind of prefer, some of the, maybe some more space in the riffing for Accept, and almost more of a groove from them versus the up-tempo stuff. Great White, this is my favorite Great White album, and this is what they were supporting on that Revenge tour, and they played this song live, and it was so good. I mean, his vocal delivery during the verses, the hey heys and the shakes, and just all of that stuff, I can still just, I can see it and hear it when I hear this song when I listen to it. So great pick. And then Megadeth, I mentioned I like the 90s hard rock version of Megadeth, and this song is great. And I always kind of wondered, with Trust, and then this song, it's got that kind of underlying, whatever that sound effect is that they've got, kind of grinding sound effect back there. Whatever it is, I love it, and a great song. So yeah, great picks, BC.
Cool. Dylan.
Yeah, I always enjoy the BC picks because they're always there's going to be some things that you go to the well with. Cough, Zach Stevens cough. But there's also going to be some surprises. I'll start with Accept because I have this pulled up because I was trying to figure out what the thing is. The thing that I love about Accept that Wolf Hoffman does is he'll always have like references in with his riffs, and he referenced the saber dance.
That's what that is? Okay.
Yeah, like, because I was like, I know that. He'll always reference like a classical music piece or like some kind of musical interlude with his solos, and I really love that. And this song was no different. I was like, oh wow, a 6-minute 28-second song. This is probably gonna be the longest song on this episode.
No way.
The song came in. Yeah, Great White was great. Asphalt Ballet I had not heard before, and that was a very nice surprise. Solution was super heavy. I wasn't expecting how heavy that was. Almost Human. Living alone. Falling from grace. It is a good one from Megadeth. Sabotage, Handful of Rain. I don't think today is going to be the day that I get into Sabotage from that song. It starts slow and it ends slow, and the part in the middle, it doesn't keep my interest enough to warrant that. Not like the 11-minute song that BB had. Why can't you be more like Temple of the Dog? But Tora Tora was great. 7 out of 8 songs I very much enjoyed on your list.
All right. BB.
BC. I love you, buddy.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
I'm only teasing
I thought you were the safe bet.
Let me get a drink.
Yeah, wait. All right, Triumph. Love this fucking song. Best song of the night. Fuck all of you. This is the best song. I don't care what
Triumph
anybody
of a
says.
pick.
This is the best song ever.
Wait till my turn.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
No, love this album, and in the Triumph fans, I think Brad touched on it a little bit. Edge of it, Excess. It was late. Guys aren't there, but I love this. I love this album.
But the music was.
Releasing albums in the 70s and still doing it in the 90s. All the power to them. Love that song. Tora Tora, Amnesia. Fucking Tora Tora. Once again, one of those bands that absolutely love. Anthony Corder's vocals are so unique, fantastic. They're just a great band. They just don't get enough of that. Enough love. They don't get enough love. BC.
No love.
That first 2 albums, crazy. Tesla with Solution, heavier, grittier Tesla. This is a bunch of Tesla hidden gems. Bust a Nut album. Mm-hmm. Sabotage, Handful of Rain, electric acoustic, Sabotage. It's a great combination. Super duper. Love the actual heavy kick in and back down to slow out the song. Love it. Asphalt Ballet, I did not know this one, but absolutely loved it. Great song. I will definitely have to check these guys out. Except Sodom and Gomorrah. The solo is so cool, and Dylan touched on that. I'm like, why does this solo sound so familiar? What is that?
I heard that.
What is that
And I'm
from?
saying the same thing. I'm going.
What is it called?
The Saber Dance.
Okay.
He's playing it. And I'm
What
thinking.
the fuck is that?
I'm thinking. I know this. This is not something. Thank you.
Yeah, song number 7, Great White with Step on You. And Great White's almost kind of like Warrant. If it's a hit, if it's a ballad, if it's a rocky blue song that just is absolutely fucking killer, like Step on You, love it. And Megadeth, Almost Human. Another album from the 90s of Megadeth that is near and dear to my heart, and I just love.
It's almost honest.
Almost. I am kind of almost honest.
I had Almost Human written down on my thing too.
I'm reading off of your original list. That's why.
God damn it.
That was me. I have at least one typo every episode.
But I love it. I love it. The chorus, like when he does his spoken word, but then he answers, or the background vocal is his spoken word. I absolutely love that part of the song. No, I can't bust your balls, BC. This is a great list.
All right, Steve, take us home.
Okay. When we were first doing this one, I had my songs picked months ago. And there's 3 songs that were on my initial list that you guys picked that I just picked something different. And AC/DC Fire Guns was one of them. Armored Saint Dropping Like Flies was another one. And the very first one that I picked was Triumph Troublemaker. I'm like, this song is fucking awesome. That Edge of Excess album is absolutely fantastic. Gilmore's scream at the beginning, the double bass drumming, probably the heaviest song that Triumph has, or if it's not, it's damn close to it.
close.
Phil X on guitar. And do you know, BC, that this song was featured in the movie Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth?
I didn't know it was
You
the
do not?
Hellraiser 3.
Oh, wow.
It was. I was like, holy
didn't know
shit,
there was
that's
a
cool.
Hellraiser.
So I may have to watch that movie again. But this song absolutely fucking rips. It was Phil X on guitar, just killer album. If you guys are, if you're an old school Triumph fan, if you want a little heavier shit, try Edge of Excess. Fantastic album. And Tora Amnesia. Great songs, got a good swing to it. I enjoy the Hey Heys in there. We got to see them play this live at, I can't remember the place that we saw them play this at in Nashville. It was at one of the Rocket Pod pre-parties.
Yeah,
then
it
we
wasn't
talked-
the basement. Was it called?
No, it wasn't the basement. No, it was...
because we talked them outside and
But yeah, we were talking
On that-
about
on that
on the
deck
patio
thing.
out
Deck
there.
thing, yeah.
Tesla Solution, crunchy guitars, good head bobber, decent one. The solo's kind of eerie. It's kind of seems like it kind of doesn't go with the song a little
doesn't.
bit. Sabotage, Handful of Rain, Zach Stevens, some new guy out there that we've never heard of before. Song's good though. I like the song. I enjoy it. Asphalt Ballet. This was one of the songs that was a good surprise for me for the night. I'd never heard this one before. Fun up-tempo song, but it's like it's one of them songs I think we talked about before. It's got that up-tempo thing, but it's like a kind of a downer of a theme for the song, but it's more of an up-tempo fun thing for a crappy theme for the song. Except Sodom and Gomorrah. This holds up to classic except for me. Wolf Hoffman's guitar tone, Udo's growly vocals, crisp guitars, that sword thing that we were talking about before, that middle part with the classical stuff is cool. Kick-ass. Great White Step on You, fun song. Psycho Circus. Psycho Hotel.
Take
Psycho
your mind off of
Motel.
Kiss, they're done.
Great album. Total. This Great Wright album is the equivalent of the Trickster Forgotten album, I think. That's how it goes for me. Megadeth, Almost Honest. Another Harpo song, BB.
Yeah.
I don't know if you realize that. Another Harpo song that they used to play.
Oh yeah.
I've
Jesus.
always loved this song. The bass is great on this one. And this one is a total loving spoken word for Dave Mustaine. Because he sings, like, as soon as it gets past, like, that first chorus, everything he sings is backed with, "You're not coming back."
Himself.
It's
Yes.
spoken
Love that
word
part.
behind
Love
the vocals. This song is fucking fantastic. Good list, BC.
Living alone.
That's everybody, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
that's everyone.
Another long one in the books, which I don't give a shit because you do not have to listen to a podcast in one sitting. Much to the chagrin of Dylan. But fun episode. I love these ones. I think this era of music is absolutely fantastic, and I think down the road we'll do like a yearly focus, like say like 92 or 94 or whatever. I think it will be cool. We'll get Brad back with. I'm gonna have him and BB sign a contract where they will not troll me for the episode. I'm just saying, but fun episode, and we'll go around the table. We'll wrap up. I know this has been a long one, but you know what? I don't give a shit. I love this. Us in the same room, having Brad on again, once again, which is absolutely fantastic. So when you give your final thoughts, Brad, you absolutely. Give some shout outs for Slamfest and give me your if you want to give me a top song from each person's thing, from each person's list, and you can give ones that you didn't enjoy as much either. So we'll start with BB.
All right. First, Brad, thank you. Busy schedule with your Slamfest. Thanks for coming on. Really appreciate you spending time with us as always. This is a great episode. There was, I think when you look at it, there's 9 years, and there's so much happening in those 9 years of the music that we listened to. And I think everybody had a very good list of just mixing, deep tracks and pretty much popular songs and alternative shit in grunge, and we really covered a big area here of these years. I guess I'll start with Steve since you're on top of the list. My favorite one off of yours, Steve, was the Vince Neil Sister of Pain for sure. Probably my least favorite. I guess I'll go with the Rush one, Driven. I just couldn't get into that. BC, of course, it's going to be Triumph. My least favorite.
You can pick Nutshell, even though it's your own song.
Oh. I don't know. Uno's not going to like this one. I'll just pick Accept. I don't know.
Go!
Out of all of them, I don't know. That's a tough one. That is a tough one. Brad's, definitely my favorite is Hole in the Wall. And my least favorite would be Genesis's Congo. Dylan, my favorite off of your list, Ugly Kid Joe.
What?
That's my Why, is there a better one on there? See, I have...
Oh, do you say best?
Yeah, his
Yeah.
favorite.
Oh, okay. I thought you said worst. I'm like, what? Okay. Sorry. My bad. Sorry.
And my least favorite... Jesus Christ.
Least best. How about put it that way? Least best.
Yeah, your least wanted.
He's best. How about that? Yeah, I like that.
Because I had to do that for Dylan's myself.
Dylan, you have a very good list.
Thank you.
Wow. I don't know. AC/DC. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm throwing a dart. Mm-hmm. But no, once again, everybody had a very good list. Dylan, I guess you had the best list because there's really wasn't one on there that I really could pick that was bad.
Thank you.
BC, yours was teetering too, though.
Uh-oh.
You picked it.
All right, Dylan, what do you got?
Well, I want to thank Brad for coming on. Always a pleasure to have you on. And there were some great songs picked by everybody. Some songs that I didn't vibe with, but you know that's going to happen. For my dad, my favorite was Sticky Side Up. I think that was a great Steelheart song. My least favorite was Neverland. I thought it was a little too repetitive, but the solo was fantastic. I also picked a surprise song for everybody, one that kind of took me by surprise.
Yeah.
So I picked Get a Grip, Black Sabbath, because I had not heard it before, and I really enjoyed it. BC, my favorite was Amnesia. I thought that kicked ass. That was a great song. Least favorite, if you had to take a guess, Handful of Rain. And then surprise was Solution, because I thought it was really heavy for Tesla, so that was great. BB, my favorite, and this will probably be listed as least favorite for somebody, was Nutshell. That song is so great, and a classic from Alice in Chains. My least favorite, and this is just because it's we've talked about it a
8
lot.
million times.
Yeah, Uncle Tom's Cabin, but it's a great song. So I'm kind of in the same boat with you, BB, where I liked all the songs, and
I
then
hear ya.
the surprise was Reach Down. That song
Okay.
was amazing. Brad, my favorite was Wild Hearted Son. Loved the Cult. Least favorite was Down Incognito because I didn't know what was going on with the song. There's a lot going on, and it was tough to hone in on it. And then my surprise was Congo because I had never heard non-Peter Gabriel, Phil Collins Genesis, and it was pretty decent. Especially, like, you do not think of the 90s when you think of Genesis. Like, that is not a decade that I can, like, perceived the band existing,
right?
Yeah.
Right.
So
I was like, they had a song out then?
Yeah, so it was surprising for me for sure. But I really enjoyed listening to all these songs, and you could listen to every single song except for Get a Grip on the Spotify playlist of the week, which will be in the show notes.
But check it out on YouTube.
Yeah,
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, listen to it on YouTube. It is a great song, and it is on YouTube. So
All right.
Here, let me go back to me because I do
Yeah, go ahead.
I do have my surprises.
Okay.
Steve, yours was Night Ranger because for some reason I 97 Night Ranger. It's not in my head. That was a very surprise for me. BC Asphalt Ballet. Like I said, I never heard of it. Brad, yours was the Screaming Trees, buddy. Love that song. Thank you for the memories. And Dylan, my surprise for you was Anthrax with Only because we're Joey boys.
Yeah.
And when you threw out John Bush,
Speak for
that was
yourself.
my surprise.
yeah, that is. It is surprising. I do like, John Bush Anthrax, but Joey Belladonna's more my speed.
All right.
Yep.
All right, Brad.
Yeah, thank you again for having me on. I mean, this episode, twofold. One, the theme itself, the track 2 off an album, but then the years again was unique, and able to dive into some different stuff. And so going through, BC, I went with Step on You as my favorite. And again, your list, similar with the Dylan's, it was hard to find a least favorite. So I'm going to have to go with what BB said, except I think is what's going to show up there. And then Surprise was Asphalt Ballet. Hadn't heard of them and dug that song. BB, I went with Nutshell, Alice in Chains also as favorite. Pearl Jam, Spin the Black Circle, the fast minor chord punk feel, didn't love. And then Surprise, I couldn't believe that somebody actually chose that 11-minute Temple of Dog song. Because I saw it in my collection and I was not going to choose it. Steve, let's see. I went with Damn Good from Trickster as my favorite, and Night Ranger, Neverland, kind of again similar to what Dylan had said about the repetitiveness. And Surprise, kind of like I said, Steve, there really weren't any surprises, from an artist standpoint for me with your stuff, which again isn't a bad thing. And then Dylan's was Aerosmith, Fall in Love is Hard on the Knees, favorite. And then going with the Pantera song, because it's just not never got into them. And actually the Surprise was also the Aerosmith song too, because I saw it when I went through my collection and didn't pick it, but was surprised that it did get picked. So again, thanks for having me on. And Slamfest, Steve checks us out on Thursdays. We usually come out on Thursdays unless I see a real-time show and need an extra day or so to put the episode out. But on all the major platforms and just talking about concerts and the concert experience. So check us out.
All right, BC.
All right. I go, Steve. How do you pick a group? I guess 8. If I had to pick one, probably, I'm going to go with Little Caesar with Hard Times, because that's such an underrated band. There's no really least favorite. There's no surprises. I don't know if I had to pick a least favorite. Just, I don't know. There's really nothing.
If you want, you don't have to.
I'm going to go Brad. I'm probably going to go with Warrant with Hole in My Wall. Just, that's such an underrated album. Doggy dog. But probably least favorite, maybe. Because I don't know. I think I did go with it. It's not saying it's bad, but Mother Love Bone. And probably a surprise for you is just because I heard the song a million times and never knew who it was. Screaming Trees with the Nearly Lost You. That was in every friggin' bar for years. And I always was it bad? And I just never knew who it was. BB, we're going to go with Uncle Jack. I mean, that's just such a great one. As far as being crappy ones, there's really no crappy ones on yours. Surprise, I'm going to go with the Temple of the Dog, Reach Down, because I was little, all right. I don't mind the Hungry song, but I thought it was going to be that kind of feel, and this came out, I was like, ooh. And then the guitar solo in it is just, I'm like, ooh. So that was a surprise, and I really, really liked it.
You thought everybody was going to hate it.
You thought everybody was going to hate it.
Yeah.
I think everybody thought they were going to hate it as well.
Dylan, I mean, oh God, it's so hard to pick one. I got to go with John Bushman only. I mean, there's really no bad or surprises on here. It's pretty.
Yeah.
I think it's good when you can't come up with a bad song. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
A very good list from everybody.
All right, so my turn. All right, let's wrap this bad boy up. Once again, Brad, thank you for coming on and spending some time with us. when I was thinking about this episode, I figured it will be right in your bang zone and absolutely BB's as well. So, and I figured that it would be a good episode because I knew BB would absolutely troll me, and I was kind of thinking Brad may. So it worked out. It worked out good. A lot of cool tunes we talked about tonight. The playlist was fun to listen to, and there were some surprises, good and bad for me. Well, maybe there were good surprises and pretty much what I figured for bad surprises on a couple. But always good having this together. Like I said at the beginning of the episode, this is the first time that we've recorded together this year so far, and absolutely love this. Brad, thank you for coming on again. Slamfest is awesome. That's my Thursday listen, and I can't wait to see what comes out. What's today? Tuesday. So 2 days from now. So I can't wait to see what Brad's got for 2024. And as far as tracks go for me, I even did my own. Okay, I pulled a Stephen Michael on this one. The ones that I liked the most on mine was Sticky Side Up. I think was the favorite track that I picked of my own, and to whittle them down, I think maybe Damn Good may have been like the least. But for BC, total favorite, Asphalt Ballet, Soul Survive. I did not know that song before we started this one, and typical BC band that you don't know. My least favorite one from BC's would be Tesla Solution. I have just not been in the Tesla mood lately. I don't know, they just have not been thrilling me lately. For Brad, probably favorite, The Cult, Wild Hearted Son. Fun song, another band that I need to get into more that I don't. Bottom song, Soul Asylum, Black Gold, not good. Sorry, Brad. BB, number one track for me, Dropping Like Flies, Armored Saint, fucking awesome. Pff, John Bush, worst song, if you had to guess, BB.
Let me think. Nutshell?
Absolutely.
Whoa,
in a
how do you know
nutshell,
that?
yes.
Or Spin the Black Circle? Or Reach Down?
I have that. So, Dylan, I have a tie for number one for you. I got Anthrax Only and Aerosmith Falling in Love is Hard on These. Dylan's is the only list that I just want to say I think Dylan had the best list of that night.
Yeah.
Dylan had probably the one that was like my least favorite of his would have been Pantera, I think.
Yeah. I was born in the era, so
Yeah,
who
so
knows if
Aerosmith
that's-
and Anthrax, the double A's, I think, were the top ones for me for Dylan's. And the surprises of the whole list, number 4, I got Asphalt Ballet from BC. Soul Survive, fucking fantastic. I got Genesis Congo. I thought that was a cool song. I enjoyed it. I absolutely enjoyed it. It was a surprise for me. Number 2, Screaming Trees, Nearly Lost You. I mean, you guys said that was a really popular song, like it was everywhere.
God, everywhere.
I've never heard it before.
As soon as it
Fucking-
came out, I'm like, oh my god.
it was great. I love the chorus in it. And my number one surprise was Temple the Dog Reach Down.
Yeah.
And BC, please start CPR on BB.
BB thought he was going to be getting revenge on all the Dream Theater picks,
Oh,
but
man.
we eat up the long songs.
That's
we love
right.
them.
Yes.
Yeah, but
You're
I mean
feeding us.
this is great. I
Give
can't
us
wait
some
because
more.
we're gonna do another one like this one, and actually we have Brad coming up in another month or so as well for another episode, and I can't wait to get Brad on that one as well. And we're going strong here, you guys. I got a ton of stuff. I have stuff scheduled till the end of probably February. We're going to be going on the Monsters of Rock cruise, myself and BC, and our regular Monsters of Rock cruise. Plus, Rob is going from our KISS crew is going to be going with us as well. So, guys, keep listening to this cool stuff out there. If you have anything you want us to cover, any episodes you want us to check out, or ideas for shows you want us to do, let us know. And I can't wait to keep this going. We're going to have a great 2024. Hopefully, not hopefully, we absolutely will podcast-wise. Hopefully, BC, the year gets better for us as we go along. It's only January, but what the fuck. But awesome time here. Brad, once again, thank you for coming on. Dylan, great job. BC, awesome. Thanks for coming up after work. BB, great job. Braving the elements to get up here tonight. So, guys, thank you so much. Check out the songs that we talked about tonight, with the exception of Get a Grip. Check that out on YouTube, on Dylan's Spotify playlist. And thank you for listening and hanging with us, and just enjoy some music out there, people. So take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we will see you next time. They're absolutely, positively definitely will be a next time.